greatest thing I've ever seen. You're overdue. I just felt it's something that makes you look good, and that's cool, and you know, I'm all for it, but I think you need to tone this down because now it's getting intrusive to the show. But they can go in the afternoon for a U.S.
Hold
show,
on a second.
As they did there, and they
Dave?
can do 180,000 buys for an afternoon show, which they've also done for All In. So
Okay,
we
hold
know
on.
they can do. We know they can do big.
Can I
numbers for an
continue
afternoon.
this before you cut me off? We
Yeah,
know
go ahead.
one thing.
Yes.
We know it
No,
might have done well because
I'm
it went
not-
on first.
I'm not saying it would.
Here's my thing, Dave.
But here's okay. Wait. Okay, here's the thing. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it didn't mean anything to me. It was just a match.
That's the problem, Dave. It should mean something to you.
Give him a quick squash win just to show that, like, you know, he's not a loser.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another amazing edition of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. Hashtag DMDMW. I am, of course, your host, Phil S. Marks. Yeah. And on this show, Dave does Mexico. He's done Dynamite. He's done Forbidden Door. Now Davey does Mexico. He also lets everybody know in the Wrestling Observer, lets everybody know that Bayley's likely to leave WWE, but assures everybody Sammy Guevara is staying in AEW. Oddly enough, we also have him sweeping for Tony Khan as usual and talking about Redemption. He fights with Bryan a little bit again, and he discusses WWE. Folks, make sure you show your support by hitting like, hitting retweet, hitting hype on the video if you're watching the replay, or rating this podcast 5 stars. You can super chat in, become a member on YouTube for only 99 cents or gift memberships, or you can join patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes for bonus episodes of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. You also get access to member-only shows on there as well. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we need some flutes in the chat because it is time for everybody's favorite segment turn show, and it is called Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. It's featuring Bryan Alvarez. So this week, guys, there's not too terribly much, but boy, is what we got hilarious. So first, I want to take you all to a place called Mexico, okay? And there's a little company called Lucha Libre CMLL. And of course, CMLL is partnered with AEW. And I don't know if before AEW was a thing, was Dave glazing CMLL as hard as he does now? I'm not sure if he was. I actually don't know. I'd have to check in with Meltzer Said What on that. I should send him a DM, the GOAT, at Meltzer Said What on Twitter. But I don't know if Dave has liked CMLL as much as he claims he does this whole time. I don't know if that's just an AEW partnership thing. We know that he glazes New Japan all the same. He glazed it way more in the past than he does now. Even though if you turn it on, there's not much different in the work rate, and all of that. But Dave headed on down. Not only did he make an appearance at Dynamite this year, he's hitting all of his faves. He pulled up for a Forbidden Door, and he headed on down to Mexico, where they actually love Dave Meltzer. Now, why does CMLL love Dave Meltzer? Are they big-time marks for themselves and shit? Maybe. But it's also because he praises them and glazes them, right? And Dave Meltzer, I believe, and I have been putting this theory out there for a while, that Dave Meltzer essentially lies about them being sold out all the time. Now, if there's a journalist in Mexico or somebody who works for CMLL who's like, no, Phil, you're wrong. I don't know how to say that on Espanol, but if there's somebody who's like, no, dude, you're entirely wrong. It is full sellout. max capacity, but we've seen images of what are called quote unquote sellouts, and there's a bunch of empty seats, a bunch of empty rows. And I'm not knocking CMLL, by the way. These shows are packed. Like, I'm not going to knock it at all. But we even saw when Bad Bunny was there, Dave was talking about Bad Bunny's here to watch Mexico, Bryan. And then you could see behind Bad Bunny, like, and behind where all the wrestlers come out, like the entryway, all those seats are empty there. And some people knock it. Again, I've said this a billion times, but some people knock CMLL and go, well, the tickets are $8. So who cares if they're selling out all the time? But the thing is, like, that shouldn't matter, like how much the tickets cost. If they're selling, they're selling. That's just like supply and demand. It's just like meeting people. If you can keep selling it out at $8 to $20, keep selling it out at $8 to $20. You know, nothing wrong with that. And I'm not even trying to knock CMLL, but I think just objectively speaking, when they go, it's another sellout, and I've seen posters from CMLL saying another sellout and shit, but I don't know how like really, really real that is. And I've wondered for a long time, as you guys know. And I think Dave just gets told another sellout, and then he sweeps for them, glazes the product, he glazes AEW, he puts over Mystico. And why? It's because they treat him like this. So notice any company that's ever been like, you're a fucking mark, dude, get out of here. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, or you just keep lying even though we're trying to bring you in on shit.
The only reason I know about this is because I know about it.
Dave just loves people who love him, and he's just going to sweep for that shit.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
And I mean, that's okay, I guess, but it's crazy how defensive he gets. It's crazy how upset he gets. It's crazy how angry he gets, how he's firing back at Bryan, how he squirms and tries so hard to fucking make it appear as though what I'm saying isn't true. But he says CMLL sold out all the time, and he says it's the best product, and Mystico's a bigger star than Roman Reigns, and all of this dumb shit, right?
Poor people don't like AEW.
And I wondered why for so long. I wondered why. Tony Khan is the best guy. I wondered why for so long, but this makes sense right here. They're putting him on TV. They're patting him on the back. The boys love him. They're like, oh, he rated us high stars and stuff like this. And so CMLL posted, tonight, we are honored by the presence of one of the most influential and renowned voices in professional wrestling journalism worldwide. Let us welcome, with a loud round of applause, the editor of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer. So here he is, dude. Look, and he's waiting to be on. Am I on? Am I on, Bryan? Am I on camera? And he's just crusty as ever. And he was there multiple nights. And he's going to talk about it, okay? You're on now. Oh, I'm the top at every aspect of this business. Really? Because you're fucking a weirdo on camera, and you're clearly nervous, and you're clearly fucking... Oh, okay, yeah, I'm ready. Actually, that was on production, Bryan. It was a 5-star segment. Well, actually, I had to grade the show. I had to grade the show, Bryan. Every match, 4.5 stars. My segment, 5. But, I mean, it's the first time outside of the Tokyo Dome I've ever given myself 5 stars, Bryan. What did he rate his own segment? And then he puts a 1 up. Okay, you're not the tribal chief.
For the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer. Bienvenido a la Arena Mexico.
No pop. No pop. Exactly, no pop. Listen to that one more time. No pop at all. There's like 5 people. And that place is supposed to be sold out. And it's because they're sitting near him.
Meltzer, bienvenido a la Arena Mexico. Periodismo especializado.
No pop. The people around him are just loud. They're like, who's this guy?
Meltzer, bienvenido a la Arena Mexico.
I need that for the soundboard. Dave Meltzer, Alarmino. I don't know what they're saying, but one more time. I just want to hear the no pop. Let's just watch it in full. It's so funny.
Periodismo especializado en lucha libre a nivel
He's like, what, right now? Oh, okay.
Recibamos en esta arena México
Don't stick your tongue
con un
out.
fuerte aplauso
I'll point
al
one.
editor del Wrestling Observer Newsletter, Dave Meltzer. Bienvenido a la
And then he
Arena
does the
México.
one again. He does the one again because he didn't even realize that the guy didn't announce him.
Periodismo
Exactly. No pop. That's so funny. And he's just so high on himself for that shit. And he actually made multiple appearances in Mexico. So Octagon, El Amo de los Eight Angulos. And this is, I'm assuming, like Octagon Senior or Octagon Brother. Brother Octagon? Broctagon? I don't know what you want to call him, but maybe Yushin FX knows. They've been a member for 13 months. And for the last 13 months, shout out Yushin FX, Meltzer's been glazing, right? And so Octagon had this to say. I was just do the same fucking voice. 32 years ago, he rated one of my matches in the United States with 5 stars. And yesterday, we greeted each other again. Welcome to Mexico. So shout out Octagon. Octagon fucking rules. Octagon Jr. rules. So to Penta and Pentagon Jr. and the fucking, we went over that whole lore in the past. But Dave Meltzer's here looking like a fuck boy. It's funny how he brought Hawaiian shirts to Mexico. That's like tourist mistake number fucking 1. No, like that's a huge tourist faux pas. Okay, 626 been a member for 10 months, and Cash Monet's been a member of 19 months. By God, gang. That's like 29 months between the two of you. Everyone's getting super friends today. But he wears like Hawaiian tees and shit. You're going to see another shirt literally that says Hawaiian or Hawaii on it. Okay. And Dave Meltzer, I mean, he's here. He's so happy. And this guy stopped to take a picture. Oh, you rated my thing. Now, I don't know if it's because they view journalism and they just view pro wrestling an entirely different way. And obviously, I've always said this, like any wrestler that's getting put over in the media, they're not going to not accept that, you know? Like even Kendall Gray, I don't blame her for being like, Meltzer's a mark, you know? She's going to accept the praise and all of that, and she should for her career and her whatever. And Dave knows that. And even a wrestler like Octagon knows that. And that's why people get so offended by Dave when he goes out and says like, oh, this person should go and get paid 10 times more. Or when Dave discusses certain people like Bayley, which we're going to get into in a bit, or other wrestlers, he's like, oh, you know, Tone will offer this, 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 and this, and literally list what he'll offer publicly as like a dog whistle. And then the wrestler hears that. And then they're like, well, Tone will offer this, this, and that. Dave knows he does this, okay? And the wrestlers know he does shit like this. And it's all starting to make more sense why he glazes CMLL so much. Now, again, I'm not watching CMLL all the time, okay? I consume it via when I watch MLW here and there, and when I watch AEW all the time, every week. I will say that it seems like AAA's got more motion, and if AAA owned Arena Mexico, we don't know if they would sell it out constantly. But as far as like big headlines and people getting over, like most of the people who are quote over in CMLL that I know, again, I don't know what's over in Mexico, are just like what Dave and Tone say, like Hechicero and shit, you know, Titan, because they keep bringing him up. I don't even remember a Titan match. You know, I know I've seen them. I can't recall anything. Same with Hechicero. It's like, this is what I remember. That super sloppy match he had on that Collision with, I think, Okada. I think they had a super sloppy one, right? And Dave Meltzer, I don't know. He's doing his thing. He's looking cute. He's dressed in Hawaiian garb, again, just a fashion faux pas. if I'm Dave, you need to buy out this guy's whole shop of tees. You've made more money off these guys than any of these guys made off themselves. And yeah, he, as chat says, he seems to have leprosy or something going on. That might be a real medical condition. I don't feel good making fun of that, but it is what it is, okay? It's just he's deteriorating. Now, some say it's from age. I say it's from rapid aging, stressing out, trying to put over AEW still and shit. And now it's starting to make more sense. Do you guys get why it's making sense, why he glazes CMLL so hard? And they also go, well, it's a sellout. And then he just accepts that and glazes that. Now, I need you guys to watch this GIF, because here's him in a literal Hawaiian shirt the next day or whatever. And this time he's waving. We don't have the video. And he's doing lizard tongue. And I put a poll in the chat. And if you're watching this in clip form or in replay form, let me know in the comments down below. Or vote in the poll right now. Why is Dave doing this tongue flicker thing? Why is he always going, the best guys, Tony, with his tongue out and flickering his tongue out? The AEW mole brought up how it could be like the Einstein thing. He's trying to make himself like, a picture gets taken of him. Oh, this guy was a wrestling genius, and it's like his tongue sticking out. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch it just flicker. Watch it just flicker. Now, there's many options. I couldn't even fit them all. Watch it. There you go. Oh, we can barely catch it. Whatever. I'm kind of gay trying to pause it on us. I feel it's kind of sus that I wanted to see his tongue, but it's just funny. So I put a poll in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the poll. Why does Dave Meltzer always flicker his tongue out like this? He thinks he's Einstein is the first option. B, he's a secret reptilian. Now, he could be Anunnaki. He could be one of the alien greys or whatever. He could be one of the lizard people David Icke used to talk about and shit. I have no clue, right? Someone on Twitter was like, he's a weird, he's like a lizard trying to catch them flies or whatever. Trying to scoop up whatever's flying by him. You could say he's prehistoric. I can't fit these all on the poll, right? Too much glaze, which is winning right now in the poll at 33%. So get your votes in. Or he's just dog-brained and he's like panting. His fucking hair follicles are falling off. His pores are all fucking plugging up and shit. And he's starting to and now he sweats through his tongue, or however dogs do that shit. You know what I mean? And he's just panting. He's just going for air. Let me know what you guys vote. Okay. My vote's secret reptilian. I don't know. It's allegedly, it's just a conspiracy.
Are you sure about that?
I don't actually know. But I'm going with secret reptilian. From the planet Nibiru. So yeah, there's Dave just having a grand old gay old time. And he talked about it a little bit. He talked about being in Mexico a little bit here. So let's jump into our first clip of the evening. And Bry just couldn't care less. He's like, so Dave, how was your trip to Mexico?
Brian.
And Dave again. He knows that it wasn't like the best show he ever saw, but he wants to say it's the best show he ever saw. But he's just like, I saw a bunch of shows, but the best show, you guys are going to hear
the
it's
young
so funny. It's like
superstar, babyface, the former heel thing. So
Dave is in Mexico still. Is that right?
He decided not to leave.
Dave.
I am in Mexico. I'm flying home tomorrow. Yeah.
Just take the day off. Why even phone in? You're in Mexico and you're taking time to mark out to Bryan Alvarez on the air. You don't want to take that time to yourself, bro, and just chill and enjoy everything. And you even saw he had his phone in his hand next to Octagon. Now, granted, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were just taking pictures on each other's phones or whatever. But this dude can't help himself. He can't even take a nice trip to Mexico and like get smashed for 2 days and just sit at the buffet and go watch the go watch what's going on at the resort, or just get a fucking bucket of beer, bucket of cerveza and some fucking tacos and chill out. He can't even do that. Okay.
How was
Just to call in and tell Bry how great CMLL is. Bry's just fed up with this shit, dude. Bry's ready to. We got to free Bry, man. We got to fly in Bryan Alvarez because we need to free him like Freebird, dude.
Well,
It was awesome.
go for it, brother. How
really
was
need
it?
Go for it, brother. How was it? He knows he's just gonna glaze the shit out of the excursion.
Mexico. I'm flying home tomorrow. Yeah.
How was well?
It was awesome.
Go for it, brother.
You
How
really
was
need
it?
You need to go, man. Everyone needs to go here once in their life. It's very hard to describe, but it's fascinating and it's great.
Go where once in your life, like to CMLL shows or to Mexico in general. And I'm sure Bry's like, dude, my last name's Alvarez. You think I haven't been to fucking Mexico? 626 for 2. Sweet, says a full sip and a lizard tongue flick. Israel confirmed. Dude, I'm telling you, it's a fucking conspiracy, man. It's a conspiracy. Why don't you tell me why his tongue flickers out like that when there are no flies present? I wonder what Jesse the Body thinks of Dave Meltzer.
It's so much fun. I went to 3 shows and they were all completely different, and they're all in the same city.
Why don't you tell me? Everyone needs to go to the Baja, Bryan. Well, it's a conspiracy. Do you know what happened there? Dave was there. Dave will do Dave will tell you.
Everything was fun. I mean, it's something that everybody should go to. It's just a great, different atmosphere.
Okay, and what's so funny is that Dave is begging people to go. Meanwhile, he copes and goes, "Oh, you don't get how tourism works. I didn't see any tourists sitting by you, Dave. You're the only tourist there. And you're making tourism faux pas with the literal Hawaiian shirts. And sticking your tongue out like a fucking weirdo and shit. Like, what are you talking about? You don't understand tourism. You don't understand how sticking your tongue out, or you don't know if pointing the one up is like a fucking disrespectful or whatever. You don't know. You don't know nothing. And then you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt in Mexico. Come on now.
Night,
and now you're begging people to go, but you're like, tourism is the reason why CMLL is the most watched by even casual American viewers, Bryan. That's what he wants everyone to believe. That's what he's tried to argue. It's more popular than WWE, but we just all know that's not true.
Really strong stuff, and the best match I saw was the main event tonight, which was Templario and Máscara Dorada. It was great all 3 nights against Defunto.
Defunto. Dave, you're Defunto. Holy shit. Máscara Dorada, WWE. Grand Metalik, yeah. So was Dave glazing Grand Metalik before he went to WWE and after? Like, now he does it after he was in WWE, but while he was in WWE. Now, granted, I don't think Grand Metalik and the Lucha House Party or whatever got a lot to do of substance other than like the Cruiserweight Classic or whatever. But was he glazing the shit out of Grand Metalik versus Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio was like, let me wrestle him on Raw some years back? Do you guys remember that? That was really cool. But yeah, Defunto.
And Soberano Jr. On Friday, the women's match was excellent. Tessa Blanchard was, in it, Thunder Rosa, Olympia.
So he's glazing it. Like, was he glazing Thunder Rosa matches? Tessa Blanchard matches in TNA recently? I don't think he fucking was.
Stupid idiot.
Lex, was
I don't
he?
know.
Me neither. But I don't think he was. 626 for 2. Sweet. Says Dave got pickpocketed at the donkey show. Bro, he was the donkey. What are you talking about?
The best guy's Tony Khan.
Yeah, he signed up to participate, bro. That's why he was at the donkey show. He got that ass pickpocketed.
Persephone, Like, they had a hell of a match. They worked so hard. Thunder Rosa was awesome Friday and Saturday, and she won the tournament tonight, the Cibernetico tonight. So she's going to challenge for the Mexican National Championship against India Sue on the 31st. And she should win. She's very, very over. And when you
imagine that, Thunder Rosa's very, very over. So another person that was also very, very over in AEW, also was over in NWA, now is over in CMLL. And Tone, for some reason, can't market that and create a star and create a program around her and make people want to tune into Dynamite and everything every week to fucking watch Thunder
The best
Rosa.
guys, Tony Khan.
Pretty crazy how he fumbled that.
have I know a lot of people hate the idea that AEW talent comes in and wins championships, blah blah blah.
Yeah, you hated on that idea. So when WWE came in, you were hating on them winning championships, and Dave, you were also hating on them changing the culture of the Mexican style matches. But then when AEW does the same thing, you swept for it. So what do I mean by that? Well, in the tag matches, there's no tags or whatever. That's the rules in Mexico. And so Dave was like, oh, they're going to ruin the culture of lucha libre and Mexican style. And AAA was never really lucha style, traditional lucha, blah, blah, blah. And so CMLL started removing the tags or whatever for matches that AEW guys are in. And they may have started doing that just in general. I'm not sure. But Dave swept for it. And he's like, oh, whatever, Bryan. And so this is how far down the sickosphere, and I may do a stream tomorrow, a run-in Time Cop, to talk about Nicolo Piccolo, just a bunch of stuff, him beefing with people online, and he did an AMA. And he really, on this AMA, I skimmed through some of it, and he really pointed out how deep some of these uber ultra sickos go in their ties to Dave and Tone and shit. It's actually quite interesting. But when it comes to Dave, he's so far off in the sicko weeds that he's talking about, I know people hate when CML or AEW guys go and win in CMLL titles and shit. Who's ever hated on that? Who's ever brought that up and
poor
been
people
oh, man,
don't like AEW.
Let's be realistic here, Celts. CWJ for 5 says, seeing Dave Meltzer at CMLL, if I recall correctly, Dave Meltzer was at a Collision show in Oakland the same day that Cena turned heel at Elimination Chamber. Thanks, be well. Dude, yes. And he was at Dynamite, and he was recently at Forbidden Door, but was unable to rate the Monet match while he was there. And you're absolutely right. While Cena was turning heel at the Elimination Chamber, Dave was at Collision, clapping it up like a seal, staring into the eyes of Okada. That might have been a Dynamite, actually. I can't remember. Or maybe they were both. Maybe they taped the Collision at the same time as the Dynamite. Doesn't fucking matter. This shit all blends together after a while, unlike Dave Meltzer's hair tones after the Just for Men. You know what I'm saying? But thank you so much for the super chat. Dave's the green shirt guy of AEW. That's a great line. So let's continue.
I know a lot of people hate the idea that AEW talent comes in and wins championships.
No, nobody even says that ever. No one cares. They just go par for the course.
Blah blah blah. But they always lose them, and it's
But they always lose them. Yeah, everyone always loses. Hey, these AEW guys, they're so great and over, and they always lose.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, these AEW losers? They always lose these. I know they win these titles, but it means nothing because they just lose them. So there's too many titles that mean nothing? Okay.
It's like the thing in Stardom, with Tekla and Sky Blue and Julia Hart.
It's like the thing of Stardom. So he literally turns his Mexican vacation, dude, into he's supposed to be enjoying wrestling shows live, enjoying the sun, enjoying the heat, maybe getting some of that on that skin. I don't know what's going on with that skin, but you maybe need to get some sun on there, right? The babes are out, the waves, everything's nice. There's probably a buffet, open bar, all inclusive, probably where he's staying, right? There's probably, a nice steakhouse, maybe get some sushi while you're there or something, some seafood, something like that. and you're out there, and yes, there are like good sushi restaurants in Mexico and shit. You know what I mean? You're out there instead of just sipping a cerveza, dude, you know, getting an icy drink and having some tacos and shit. You're fucking out there phoning Bryan to start defending AEW for some reason.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Oh my God. He's on the phone, right? In his humid ass hotel room. You can't hear the waves in the background. You know, he's not on the beach. It would be like funny. It would be epic if he's like, yeah, Bryan, I'm sipping a Mai Tai on the beach. Like, that would be funny. That would be a good bit for their show, but he's not even doing that, dude. He's in Mexico. He's watching. And again, I don't know. Are they on like the ocean? Or are they like in the middle? Where is Arena Mexico located? Actually, I'm not even sure. So maybe I'm off saying this, but you know, it's the Mexican weather, dude. You know, you're out there, the sun hits different. I'm sure you can have a good time. Still get some fucking good grub. There's cerveza everywhere. They fucking sell it everywhere. You walk into any place and there's a fridge where you can buy a beer. And this dude is on the phone with Bryan defending AEW people from winning titles from CMLL and Stardom and Nuge for no fucking reason. And you know, Bry was like, well, how is it, brother? Because Dave was like, you know, I'm going to call in, Bryan, and let you know how it's going. And Bry's like, you don't have to do that, Dave. I'll just handle the show. I'll do it with Garrett and, you know, just enjoy your vacation, Dave. You're on vacation. And he's like, no, I'll call in. So then when he calls in, and then Bry's like, Dave's still in Mexico. And then that's why the intro to this was all awkward. And Bry's like, well, Dave, how is it, brother? Because he knows Dave just wants to glaze CMLL. And in the midst of this, he literally can't go a minute and a half without making it about protecting, defending, sweeping, glazing AEW. And talking about how, well, you know, people on Twitter, the uber sicko wacko fucking uber marks. Or what is he talking? Are like the Mexican fans like, man, fuck these AEW guys. And now Dave's shitting on them by going, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They lose these titles all the time. And it's the same thing in Stardom. Yeah, they went and won those belts, but they'll just lose them right away, Bryan. So who gives a fuck? And it's like, well, why does anyone care about any of this shit, Dave? Dave's whole approach to everything he likes and really cares about is, well, who gives a fuck about any of it? Just let it be a thing. And it's like, what, man? What are you talking about? And, you know, I had Cuervo the whole time, too, Bryan, sipping tequila.
He had Cuervo with him the whole time, too.
I had a bottle of Cuervo. I was scared of him, though.
When they went there, it's like, I knew that.
There's no Cuervos down here. There's no Cuervos down here, Bryan.
You know, they should win the championship. But when they did, it's like, oh, God, Tony makes all these people, you know, win when they go to other places. And it's like, yeah.
Tone's on the bed. You tell him, Daddy. He's on vacation with Tone. Tone's just walking around Mexico with a fucking lucha mask on, and nobody knows he's with him. Right? And they're on vacation together. It's their honeymoon. Tone's like, you tell them and tell them that I don't book it. Well, I give them money and I do kind of book it, but I don't book it.
Tony Khan.
Holy shit.
Of course, that's how you do angles. You know, it's like they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose on the way out, but they're gonna win when they show up. I mean, that's just like the most basic of basic.
So So he's on vacation and he's fretting sickos, like CMLL sickos and AEW sickos and WWE wackos. Like he's sweating the bottom of the barrel. Like even I don't see this on Twitter. I see all the wacky bullshit on Twitter. You guys know that we cover it on PWT, which goes live every Wednesday and Saturday night on YouTube. We cover that. I don't see anyone saying this shit. Dave's like taking his vacation time to defend Tone and get offended over like what 4 people said on Twitter that doesn't matter because no one cares. And if it's drawing in Mexico, then why the fuck do you care about what sickos have to say? Dave's starting to get it now, isn't he? So WWE's crushing in every palatable, scientifically quantifiable metric, measurable piece of data that exists on planet fucking Earth that humankind has ever known. Okay. They're crushing AEW other than shit that Dave makes up. And so when sickos say dumb shit, we just go, who cares what they're saying? They're fucking morons. Let's just make fun of them because this doesn't make sense and they're clearly just coping and seething. So now Dave is dealing with what? Who is he talking about? People are all like, oh, you know, they're going to, even in Stardom, they like won the belts. And okay, who the fuck, what is it? Who's your algorithm feeding you? Like nobody cares if people in AEW go and win belts in Japan. Like this has been happening for 7 years, Dave. No one, it makes zero difference. Like, why are you worrying about this when you should be like, is Dave married? You know what I mean, dude? You should be like chilling, scoping the babes, chilling on the beat. Maybe that's creepy because he's an older dude, but I mean, you can look, you know, fucking chill out and drink some cerveza and enjoy. Put your little swim shorts on and enjoy yourself, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Really a good time. And man, yeah, my kids.
So listen, he starts defending Tone, and then he's talking about Japan, and then he starts going, this has been a really good time. My kids enjoyed it. I'm actually talking quietly because I'm in the bathroom because they said no Mark shit, Dad. Holy fuck.
Of course, that's how you do angles. You know, it's like they're going to lose. They're going to lose on the way out, but they're going to win when they show up. I mean, that's just like the most basic of basic booking. Really a good time. And
so he's just it's the most basic of basic booking.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And why? So why do you want only basic all the time? Why do you like subpar, lower, mid, basic? Dave's just happy with it. Predictable, repeated nonsense. And not presented in a new way with a fresh coat of paint. Just, oh, well, you know what it is. Fuck, man. Dave just loves the slop.
Freaking loved it. Like, best vacation ever, you know, even more than Tokyo, I think.
Yeah, because, of course, they like it more than Tokyo, dude.
Dave.
Holy shit, man. Dave is such a cutie pie. He loved his CMLL trip. Oh, boy. What's chat saying? CWJ for 2. Sweet. Says, imagine if WWE stars went to AEW and won titles. Well, they're gonna when Tone inevitably takes a job with WWE and sells AEW to them. No, I'm joking, but that would be Tone's wet dream. Like, imagine if Tone bought WWE when he put the bid in 2023. What would his priority have been? Dynamite and Collision or Raw and SmackDown? What show would he be at every week going, it's great. Roman Reigns, you're facing Hechicero. It'd be a fucking travesty. Cashman A for 2. Sweet Chico says, remember the AEW motto. It's just a match. Yeah. It's whose line? The points are made up, or the jokes are made up, and the points don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter, and Dave doesn't give a fuck because...
Here's the guy that has papers everywhere in his room.
Well, he's in Mexico throwing papers all over a hotel room. Yeah, Dave has a son and shit. He has a son, and I didn't know he was ever married. Again, I don't look into the shit. I don't really care. I'm not trying to stalk out his family and shit, but he's talked about how his son's friends like don't care, but then they see AEW and they're like, "Whoa," and shit. Like, he's made up lies about my son and his girlfriend know some Mexican people, Brian. He's literally said shit like that. My friend is a quarter Mexican and they don't know who Bad Bunny is and shit. And it's like, you're just lying about this shit. So, yeah. Okay, let's move along here. So next up, we are going to talk about Dave and Bry talking about WWE essentially, okay? So let's lock in. Flutes in the chat. So Dave Meltzer and Bryan Alvarez talk a little bit about WWE, and this is more a Bryan thing, okay? Now, Brian's trying really hard here to hate on this. A lot of people, I think, are getting this wrong with the Jalen Brunson thing where they're like, this was terrible. It's like, well, yeah, the last 5 minutes with Seth and shit was ass. This moment though, like this is sports-based wrestling. This is what UFC does. They don't like do it in a gimmicky, that's the entertainment aspect, but this is the real NBA trophy. Like where, like that shit's like the Stanley Cup, bro. You don't just get to, you don't just get to like bring this thing places and whip it out on a fucking wrestling show. This is crazy. Brunson's in there. This is a huge moment for New York. Again, it was good for the people there. No, it was the most watched NBA finals in how many years? Since in like the last 30 years, since 1998, it was the most watched NBA finals, guys. It's New York winning a championship. They haven't won it in 53 years. It's also the fact that Danhausen was a big part of this. It's also the fact that Brunson's an uber wacko WWE fan, and a bunch of these wrestlers are, or pardon me, athletes are, professional athletes. And you're seeing it more and more now, where pro athletes these days, the kids that are getting into major sports, are not only sons and daughters of pro wrestlers, but they're fucking fans of pro wrestling, like people who aren't related and shit. We all grew up watching this shit. That's the thing, right? It's John Cena who's up there. It's like Rock. It's a Hogan, Rock, Cena, Stone Cold, obviously before Rock. It's like Hogan, Stone Cold, Cena, I think, are like top 3 all time. And then maybe like Bruno on a technicality. Ricky Dozan, you know what I mean? On a technicality. But like Brunson came up watching the Attitude Era and being nostalgic about that, and then also watching John Cena in the Thugonomics through his whole fucking run as the GOAT and shit like that, for sure. Like that's how people. I'm not sure how old is Jalen Brunson. How old is Jalen Brunson? Let's figure that out. 29, man. Kid's younger than me, so. That's what I grew up on. So if this guy he missed the Attitude Era. Like he grew up watching that shit the way I grew up watching Hulk Hogan on fucking tapes mostly, other than the WCW and on stuff, right? His whole 80s shit, I missed that. I'd rent that shit at the video store though. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably how Jalen Brunson treated the Attitude Era. It's probably like the greatest shit of all time for him. And people don't understand, like, and they say things like this shouldn't have been televised. It wasn't it's all on streaming. Do you not get how streaming works? There's no set cutoff time, especially in a live sporting event. What was I supposed to do? I'm in Canada. Your boy Phil is in Canada. What was I supposed to do? Switch to another fucking YouTube video? Or just leave it all on the same YouTube video? You know what I mean? It was on YouTube. Internationally. I don't understand what and then a lot of people were coping. They're like, oh, well, actually, it's only popular in America. And we covered this on Pro Basketball Times on Memba Monday. We talked a lot of basketball. And we talked about how basketball it's super popular in Canada. A Canadian invented basketball, first off. It's super popular around the world and in markets like China, which is like a huge market for any sport to be over in. And like places, Japan, I think we went over a list of the countries and how important it was to certain countries and stuff like that, right? So it wasn't just like an American thing. It's nothing like that. And this wasn't so fucking bad. And this is sports based. UFC just had Sophie Cunningham be a ring card girl for one round of one of these fights at not the last UFC, but the one before, the last numbered event, as they're now called, instead of pay-per-views. They show celebrities off in the crowd. Here's Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn are here for the fights, and here's Theo Vaughn is here for the fights, and here's Cooper Flagg's here for the fights, and here's the fucking college athlete, and here's the coach of the Celtics and shit. They fucking do that all the time. Even you're watching like NFL games, you might get let's say someone's in attendance there. Let's say LeBron James is at the Super Bowl. You might get a reporter who asks, how are you enjoying the game and all this shit. This is the sports-based shit. And then motherfuckers come in with responses going, no, the sports-based stuff, man, is like the realism and the athletically go blah, blah, blah. Then watch UFC. Because no, that's not what people are talking about. I promise you. And I promise you, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is way more real wrestling. Real MMA fighters are in the crowd at WWE shows. Tone had to pay American Top Team to pull up to AEW shows and let their people be characters on the show, like Paige Van Zandt and the fucking coach and all of these fighters and shit. He paid them, Tyron Woodley, to go and be part of the show. In WWE, they're calling up Triple H. They're begging him to be part of the show. They all want to be a part of this. That's the fucking difference. And the fucking Ospreay Omega match, I don't care who watches it. It's more sports-based. If you took 100 normies, put them in a room, said, what's more sports-based? Here's some highlights from the NFL. Here's some highlights from the NBA. Here's how they present some shit. You do that for the first 15 minutes. Then for 15 minutes or 30 minutes to an hour, you fucking show them, here's an AEW match. Here's a WWE match. Here's the intro to the show. Here's the intro to this show. And get people to compare what is more sports-based. There's a reason WWE has more casuals and shit. Well, we don't want those fans, man. Real graps. No, but it's not real. It's phony and cheesy. Mox is phony and cheesy. When everyone's like, oh, there's heat between MVP and Mike Bayley. And I explained this, okay? It's phony and fucking cheesy. That's all it is. MVP's a real jiu-jitsu guy. Bobby Lashley's a real 15-2 MMA fighter. You get what I'm saying? And he's wrestled and shit, really wrestled. Unless you're Wonder Boy Thompson, no one's scared of your little fake flip kicks, bro. For real. And that's what these people don't understand. They don't get it because they don't really watch other sports. So they think what they're watching is sports-based realism. It's the real athleticism, bruv, falling down, get back up, finisher, kick out, finisher, falls finish, kick out. No. So I think a lot of people were complaining about this and they're off fucking base. That being said, am I watching WWE closely, and have I personally been critical of some of the corpo slop going on with the do I want to see Tom Brady wrestle at Mania? No, I have no desire to see him wrestle. I really fucking don't. If he's in someone's corner where they go, the special timekeeper, and then fucking Rey Mysterio tries to pull the hammer away, the ring bell away from him, or Dominic Mysterio, pardon me. Is that what I said? I might have said Rey. He goes to pull the ring hammer away, and then Tom Brady slaps him or clocks him, leading to the finish. Whatever, I'm okay with that. Your boy Phil is okay with some celebrity involvement. It's Muhammad Ali, and he's the special enforcer to make sure, and he's in a ref suit to make sure nobody crosses the line. I'm all for that. You want to bring Tyson Fury out there to throw a work in? I'm okay. But do you want to bring Cain Velasquez out there to work a shoot with Brock Lesnar? No, I just want to watch a shoot between them, or I want to watch a pro wrestling match between them. Do I want to watch Jelly Roll come back? And do I want to see the Strauss Zelnick guy in the 2K game? I could give a fuck about seeing all of this corpo synergy shit. I don't care. Does it deter me from watching it? No, that's everything now. Everything's like that. Okay, as long as the stories are there and the matches are there consistently, for me, it has been in WWE. Nothing's terrible in WWE right now. I've said this a billion times too. There's not that one thing putting it over the edge. Over the edge. 626 for 5 says, turns out Phil is actually Dave's son, and that's why he's on 11 on Dave's ass every week. They need family therapy. Dude, I fucking son Dave. What are you talking? I've made Dave my son, and he's older than me. CM for 5 says, thanks, Phil. I'm going to sleep tonight with the image of masked Dave at a donkey show with a well-placed glazed flute. Just rock me to sleep, Phil. Dude, oh, man. The flute hits. He's like, I played that out of my bum hole. He plays it on the phone for Bry. There's a donkey. Hee-haw. Bry's like, what are you doing, Dave? And he's like, just hold on a second.
Brian.
Tongue work. I call it tongue work, like rope work. This is tongue work, Bryan. Holy shit. Okay, so let's take a listen to Dave and Bry, two fucking boomers who don't understand this shit.
That Roman Reigns Jalen Brunson thing, and then Seth comes out and gets beat up. That was like the most nothing. Like as a fan, just watching as a wrestling fan, it was like the most nothing happening thing you ever saw. Obviously,
So as a wrestling fan, whenever the team that wins the fucking sorry if you guys hear that. The team that wins when they do their parade and there's like a world heavyweight title being held up, I mark out for that. And I think most wrestling fans do too. So that part wasn't bad. The Jalen Brunson part wasn't bad. And here's the thing too. All the sickos were trying to go, AEW runs New York. Elbow's like, when you own New York, you own the wrestling landscape. It's only a matter of time. And then he's like, oh, you might as well spit in the fans' faces. Meanwhile, they're popping so hard, Cathausen. The crowd was going insane, white hot. And WWE, like 50 Cent, runs New York. I get money. Money I got. Right? They run New York. They own New York. They own it. New York, New York. They run that shit, dude. And their history with the Garden, with New York, and then the synergy between the fucking team and the wrestling. Yes, this is like a celebration of New York and shit. I don't get it. When UFC does UFC Noche and they celebrate like I don't know how to phrase it, like Mexican heritage and I don't know, right? Latino and Latinas and shit. It's awesome. People love that. They do it once a year because it's like a celebration of that culture and stuff like that. The New York culture, the New York state of mind. Rappers on monkey flip them with the funky rhythm. Right? They're in that NY state of mind, dude. And this was just like a moment for the city and for pro wrestling because of their history at New York. Like, didn't Bruno sell out the Garden more times than fucking blah, 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 blah? Come on now. So that's a nothing. No, this is where it became a nothing. When Seth came out and was cringe and they just added that extra 5 minutes with Halliburton where they didn't need to do any of that because it took the peak away. I'm all about when a match is at its peak, go home. Swerve them now and again, but don't just like peak them and then never give it to them at the fucking peak. That's not how you do shit. They were like peaked with this moment, and then Seth had to come out and Halliburton, and they just muddied it up, and it was kind of sloppily performed, and that part was bad. But ending it like this, I mean, I don't really see a problem with it at all.
he got over big inside Madison Square Garden, but like watching in Seattle, I mean, I don't care. I don't give two shits about basketball, but like you watch some basketball. I mean, did you care all that much?
No.
Oh, no, I thought it sucked.
Oh, okay. It was this dude. But you guys are observer marks, though. I thought if Dave was like, yeah, I watch basketball, Bryan, I was just going to fucking die laughing.
I mean,
The main event was weak and worthless.
but like all like
So, and this is the problem, too, is that all these wrestling fans go, the main event. What main event? The segment? Since when are segments main event? Like, you end with a segment. It's in the main event slot, but like it's not a main event. Again, real sports are the main event is the main event. And then do you know what happens at UFC? Joe Rogan and John Anik and DC sit there and then they talk about shit. And they talk about what they just saw. They preview what's to come at the very end. They talk about what they hope to see. Sometimes someone else will join them at the table and they'll talk to them about, oh, your fight went like this and you came out unscathed or whatever. And they talk for a bit. And that's not considered the main event, even though if you buy a pay-per-view, that's what's at the end of the broadcast. People don't go, that's the main event. So, like, what are wrestling fans doing? When Tyson Fury wins a boxing match and then everybody floods the ring and then they do a half an hour interview and he talks to every reporter and fucking he starts singing Sweet Caroline to the crowd. That's not the main event. The main event was the fight. So the main event was the tag match. And then they just had this segment to celebrate New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of, that AEW doesn't run, and you're coping.
I heard, as the show's going off the air, is like I can't even explain how excited they were in WWE about the last 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to.
And in WWE, it's like, and is he talking about the people in WWE were excited? Yeah, it went off as a smash hit, went super viral, got play on ESPN and all this shit, on all the sports shows, got play everywhere. You ain't getting play nowhere, dude. You guys are just bitter because your shit ain't getting no play.
Say it because I'm going to get yelled at in about an hour, but like, it was actually kind of embarrassing. Like, they were so excited by that final segment because they're just all about getting on ESPN. Oh my God, the celebrities here. AEW could never get celebrities like this.
No, they don't care. The fans care about, the AEW could never do this. People like me who felt AEW and shit.
Like that is their thing. Is this absolute like this?
This is the problem. They're treating this like it was Jelly Roll or Pat McAfee, which was objectively ass. This wasn't that. I don't watch basketball. This was embarrassing. You should be embarrassed, dude, to just not even you don't have to watch basketball to know the significance of this. As a wrestling fan, you should understand. It's actually sick in the head what Bryan's doing right here.
The be all and end all. These big fucking stars are here on the show, and my God, it's incredible. It's like so awesome. I mean, they're just like salivating. And
so the Danhausen, Cathausen thing wasn't so awesome. But if Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pockets and fake kicks someone, or Marco Stunt's supposed to do a run-in on your match, Alvarez, literally, and I covered this on Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week bonus show, which there's bonus DMDMW on a patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times, right? But Bryan puts over his own wrestling, and Marco Stunt was supposed to come out, so I was like, and he talks as if he's this fucking brilliant professional wrestler. He's one of the worst wrestlers ever. I've watched it again on Patreon, his matches and shit. So that's all good, and that's it's to pop the crowd and shit. It's no problem whatsoever, and it's always like, you need to listen to the fans in the building. This is always the cope too. It's the fans in the building. If they're happy, then that's all that matters. Bryce said that. Dave said that. Everybody says that. Punk says that shit. Okay, so the fans in the building went ape shit for this.
People in the building.
What are we talking about?
It was great for them and everything like that, but you got viewers all over the world.
Yeah, and so does NBA. Hey, Bryce, so does the NBA, and you don't know that because you don't watch it. So maybe just go, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it, but I don't watch basketball. Don't start doing all this fucking coping and just making shit up like NBA doesn't have viewers all over the world. Guess what has viewers all over the world, Bryan? The internet. Guess where the NBA and everything is? The internet.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Do you even ball, bro?
And I think for the vast majority of us, it's just like, what the fuck was that guy standing there for? And it was not a very good angle, and it made me absolutely no more interested in SummerSlam than I was going in. And
it had nothing to do with me. Well, the Seth part did, which was bad. So, okay, maybe I'll give Bry points for that, I guess.
It's weird. But that's what they like, guys. So if you see all these celebrities and all these celebrity angles.
Mhm.
I mean, it's the highlight of their world to be associated with this kind of thing.
It's kind of sad.
Why is it sad to want wrestling to be mainstream again? Was it sad when Hulk Hogan went mainstream and had Cyndi Lauper and made it so that you guys have a job even talking about this shit because he linked up with celebrities and got on MTV and fucking was hanging out with celebrities, and there was Muhammad Ali's in his match, and fucking they got everybody out there. They have like 100 celebrities at WrestleMania 1 or whatever. So if Hulk Hogan didn't like do that and attach to Mr. T and stuff like that, so that you two fucking marks had a job to even come where you have your little YouTube plaque next to your toys and you could fucking even talk about wrestling for a living. That's really sad? Or are you guys sad because you don't actually watch basketball? I don't even believe that.
The only reason I know about this is because of I know about it.
And was it sad when like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Tone literally is like Giannis Antetokounmpo, like literally screaming like that, and everyone's like, whoa. Or when Shaquille O'Neal's teaming up with Jade Cargill or Mike Tyson's there falling asleep at the announce desk, was that sad? Or are you guys sad and you're tired and you're washed and you're played out and you're just not hip? You're not with it, as the kids say. You don't even watch basketball, so you don't even know what's going on. Again, well, I'm not even any more interested in seeing SummerSlam. Yeah, but you are going to watch it anyways. So it's not all about you, and that's what AEW does, and that's why they just have sickos that are their fans. And then there's like a few 100,000, 200,000 to 300,000 wrestling fans that'll float in and watch AEW if they're doing something interesting. But otherwise, they just mostly are WWE fans. There's a reason for that. And Bryan's criticized that too. As you guys know, the theme song of one of the live shows, Bry says it in the song. I forget which one. It's either Youth Gone Wild remix or For the Sickos. And Bry's like, look, you can book for just the Sickos and eventually you'll do 400,000 viewers. Yeah, so they're not booking for just the wackos who stan everything WWE do either. And that's what Bry's trying to say. Well, they love this shit. Okay, then there's way more people who just stan what they're doing, is what you're saying? So then that's a good thing, because if there was way more sickos who just stan everything AEW did than there are WWE fans, Dave would be having a powwow and you'd be like, yeah, they're doing it. Real competent. WWE needs to get their shit together. So there's way more people that just stan this shit, is what you're saying. So is that a bad thing? I don't know. You're in the business of selling tickets and shit. So I don't know if that's a bad thing. But it's not that. Because if you ask Daddy Dave, your Uncle Dave there, Bry, from your cuck chair, he will tell you that they're just simpletons. They're stupid. They're there for entrances. They're new fans. They're minorities. These are all the things he's labeled WWE fans. They're low IQ. And then AEW fans.
Yeah, poor people don't like AEW.
Insinuating what? That poor people like WWE? Like, what are you trying to say? I don't get it. So Bry is sitting here like, yeah, they should just cater. They're just catering to people who love this stuff. So what's the problem with that? And there's more of them than anything else. So they should just cater to the hardcore people that will like any corpo slop they throw at them. No, you don't want to only cater to those people. You don't want to only cater to those people. That's insane. That's how you turn into AEW. How does Bry? This is why I don't even believe what Bry's saying. And some people are like, man, Bry's coming around. He's still a phony, fake, short bitch. I'm telling you, he's fake and phony. He's a phony, okay? Like, he just has this faux outrage over WWE. Get some clicks. It is what it is, you know?
That Roman Reigns,
So I wrote this. New York won a championship for the first time in over half a century. These boomers somehow don't get what that was a big moment for the Garden. The Seth stuff ruined the last 5 mins for me, but this is the sports-based wrestling everyone wants. ESPN headlines, mass appeal. You know, like sports have. Pickleball has more mass appeal right now than AEW. Okay? The Observer is washed with analysis like this. It's about mass appeal. Isn't that what everybody wants? What are we doing this for? What the fuck are we doing this for? It's about selling tickets and shit. I don't know what to tell anybody. So, and it's not all like, yes, I want good shit to happen to get there. But at the same time, to me, that didn't bother me. Now, to something that doesn't bother me, but I just have zero interest in as well. And I think WWE's way of getting to Tom Brady, Logan Paul at in a WWE match, they've been building it good on the internet. So if they build it well, I'll give anything a shot. I'll give Mr. T a shot. I'll give fucking the Kiss Demon a shot. For real. We all did it. I'll give it a shot, man. I gave Danhausen a shot when I didn't understand that shit. When I first saw him way before he even went to AEW. I'm like, he fucking plays tequila in the during his match. It sounds stupid. And then you're like, he actually is funny, you know? You have to give some obscure things a shot. Now, not fishbowl drownings. There's some things we just know are ridiculous. I'll give Tom Brady a shot. When they were talking about back in the day, you guys remember Floyd versus Big Show. I remember being like offended by that years ago. But then when it played out, I look back on that. I'm like, damn, dude, he really cracked him in the nose. Like, that was dope. That was actually dope the way they handled all of that stuff. When AEW brought Shaq in, I was like, this could be huge for them. I really believe that. They kind of botched that shit. And apparently Shaq, I heard allegedly Shaq was like hot at that, the way the table spot and all that stuff went down, but who knows? Could be rumors and innuendo. He never came back though. Let's put it that way. So here's Dave Meltzer's take, and I'm sure I'm going to find something wrong with his analysis because he's going to extrapolate way more. You have to be willing to give this a shot with Tom Brady being involved. I don't want to see Brady versus Paul. I don't want to see a tag match, Brady versus Paul. I don't. I'm not interested in this really, watching them do their little shtick on the internet. This isn't getting me like, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's doing nothing for me. I got to be honest, personally, as a fan. Now, if they do this and it ends up in a segment where the crowd's white hot and I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it, I'm going to say that. If it is more bullshit like Jelly Roll, I will say that. Jelly Roll at first, I didn't mind him. When they brought him back the second time, he was terrible. He's good at like backstage shit. He's good at talking and stuff, but I didn't enjoy any of it. Same with Pat McAfee. Like, I enjoy Pat McAfee, the shit he did with Adam Cole. The stuff he did with Vince there at that Mania was kind of questionable. I like him on commentary. I like how he comes out and he's dancing on the desk and shit, and he's overly obnoxious and flamboyant and flagrant. That's the name of the game in wrestling. When they brought him back to be a part of that Randy Orton stuff, I was like, okay, this is fucking, that should not have been the guy on the phone. And I hated on that. So Brady, I'm probably going to end up hating on it, but I don't know because I haven't seen it. It's like the Odyssey. Everyone's crying about the Odyssey. I don't know. I got to watch it. Okay? I got to watch the shit before I just hate on it. It looks like shit. I ain't going to lie. I'm the biggest Nolan fan. The trailer and the clips I've seen that people have, it looks like shit to me. But I have to actually watch it to know. So let's hear Dave's analysis.
I heard about the Tom Brady thing with Logan Paul.
Yeah, he slapped Logan.
They can't do a match right now because Logan's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his arm's healing up. So you need to pay more attention to what's going on in the news, Dave, because that's your job, and not pay attention to the sickos who are talking about AEW won CMLL belts.
I mean, maybe down the line. I don't want to see that, though. I don't want to see Tom Brady. But, I mean, if they can get him to do it, you know, I mean, I totally get it if they can get him to do it. I mean,
it should just be a tag match if they do it. And this is like Dave being reasonable. We're going to give him a base.
Tom Brady, I mean, it's like it's all kinds of publicity and everything. and it's what they are. And I don't mean that in a negative way either. It's like there's nothing wrong with all of that stuff. I mean, if you don't like it, there's 1,000 alternatives in wrestling right now that are excellent. I mean, I watched frickin', I watched a Stardom match with Shuri and Nat support.
Yeah, but that's not excellent, Dave. People like storytelling more than just matches. So Dave's like, if you don't like the celebrity involvement, well, this is the thing. At least they're putting a storied effort behind it. And then at least they have clips like this so they can play this on their show to possibly get people into it. Now, if it flops, it flops. I'm with Dave. I don't need to see this shit. But to tell a WWE fan, if you don't like celebrity involvement, go watch 2 Joshis, one named Natsupoi. Holy fuck, Dave. Like, you're so... And then you guys are crying about Jalen Brunson segment. Like, you guys are so out of touch on what people want, on what the masses want. The masses would rather watch this Tom Brady shit and not because, we accept the slop. It's because they would rather watch that than Joshi's. Otherwise, Stardom would be this big fucking thing, dude. The best shit becomes the best shit. Every time, okay?
From yesterday, my God. I mean, but I mean, like, the stuff here, New Japan Pro Wrestling's got G1, AEW's freaking awesome right now.
It's really, really mid right now, dude.
So it's like, if you don't like it, there's other wrestling. I wouldn't, and they do what they do.
He's just saying, don't watch WWE. He's trying to convince people. The problem is that the people you're talking to, Dave, other than us, like the people who seriously are watching you, they all already watch AEW. So who are you convincing in your audience by saying shit like this? Now to my audience, it's like, we already know you're a fucking clown, and most of us watch AEW already too. So, or maybe you don't. I really enjoy when people are like, dude, I just only listen to PWT. I don't even watch the shit. It's like, nice.
I mean, I enjoyed Saturday night's main event, the matches. I didn't think, other than the main event, I didn't think any of the matches were particularly great, but they were all fine.
So there you go. And Dave actually correctly calling the main event match the main event fucking match for WWE there. So speaking of WWE, Wavy Davy talks about how Bayley's future in the company will be very interesting, Bryan. And it's funny because he wants to do things like diminish Sheamus. Obviously, we know who Sheamus's agent is, right, guys? And so Dave wants to diminish Sheamus and put shit out there. Nope, they don't want him. Don't even try. Sabotaging him. Now, I find it so funny how your boy Phil does a segment and I clip it and everything, and I got people going, you really think it's Sheamus, bro? You think he's sabotaging fucking Sheamus? And then...
It's so bad. Dave is the devil. Oh.
Sheamus's fucking agent does an AMA on Reddit, and he's saying the same shit that I'm saying. Holy fuck. And I didn't hear that from him, okay? You guys got to understand something. I know he puts me over and shit. He does not we don't DM every day. Not even every day, not even every week, okay? And when we do, it's mostly just laughing about shit and talking about cool shit that we both like. Okay, it's not real. I'm not a fucking dirt sheet. I'm not sitting there like, hey, give me the scoop on whatever. So he's on an AMA, and I was even critical in Nick. I'm like, why are you doing an AMA focused on Sickos? But it wasn't really focused on Sickos. That's just what he tweeted out. So I guess he was trolling, and I was like, and I kind of went hard on him. I'm like, why would you waste your time doing an AMA about Sickos? Like why even like do that? But it really was way more compelling than that. And I should have known because people got to ask him questions. So it's not like they're going to give a fuck about some of these Sickos and shit. So again, he is sabotaging Sheamus. You can tell in his vernacular. He says things about Kendall Gray, come over, get $1 billion. All the New Day are expected to sign. But then it's fucking Sheamus. And he's like, nope. Tone doesn't want
Tony
him.
Khan.
You know what I'm saying? So clearly, and he did that to Hurt Business as well. He didn't want Tone to sign them. So he's just trying to like dog whistle Tone and get the narrative out there that AEW doesn't want him. And then Sheamus had to come out and say, yeah, he's interested. Even in, I don't think he came out and blatantly said it, but a dirt sheet reported that like he is interested, even if it's for a short period of time and a one-off or whatever. Sheamus would go to AEW. He's interested in whatever. And it would be stupid to do All In and, not bring Sheamus in. I know he's an Irishman and whatnot. You're in the UK. I mean, why not do a one-off? That'd be fucking cool. Might as well. Like, it's AEW. You're just throwing money around and people don't really fucking, it's not like it's going to move the needle one way or the other. If you announce Sheamus, it might move the needle a bit, but it is what it is. So with Bayley, what Dave is doing, and again, just look at how they treated Sheamus, who's officially not in WWE. Look how they're treating Bayley, who's not even out of WWE yet, might not be till fall. Some people are saying the end of the year. Some people are saying this summer. Nobody really knows. So Bayley's not even gone yet. And Dave is already like, yup, she's going to AEW. But then when it comes to Sammy Guevara, who we're going to talk about in a minute, people, including Tony Khan, find it weird that because he's disgruntled publicly and changed his fucking bio, nope, he ain't leaving. There's no way he's leaving and whatnot. We're going to talk about that in a sec, but we can just look at the way they cover this shit and you can tell what they're doing. Dave has a say in who Tone fucking hires through Tone's inspiration of Dave. Do you know what I mean? Like, Dave inspires Tone. Tone inspires Dave. They're each other's muses. Let's take a listen. Bayley's pretty much, everybody knows it's all hands on deck, and they are preparing to bring her into AEW.
I don't know.
Which I think she will do.
Know her mentality.
You don't know anyone's mentality. You are mentality, Dave. You don't know anyone's mentality. And of course, you don't even have to say that because you don't know Bayley.
I don't know her mentality because there's obviously many different mentalities, and many of them end up backfiring on AEW.
So listen to this retarded shit he just said. What the fuck are you even talking about? There are many mentalities. No shit, Dave. Your mentality. Like, what are you talking about? There are many mentalities that often backfire. What the fuck are you talking about?
Mentality, because there's obviously many different mentalities, and many of them end up backfiring on AEW, and many of them don't. And you just never know. We just age, just literally, like, what was it, 2 days ago, said my heart was never into it. I'm a WWE girl. And it's like, when you have that mentality, I mean, it's not going to be good. And
so do you think, Dave, that she, like, again, now we're burying Paige because she left the almighty AEW. Dave, nobody's hearts is in it in AEW. And the people who are younger and shit and are trying to make a name for themselves, and they're over with Sickos and shit, sure, but Tone's not getting them over. And their heart's in it because they're getting paid more money than they should ever be seeing in the business at this point in their careers. But nobody's heart is in it. They're just getting paid shitloads of money. The Hurt Business go on TV and go, we're not challenging for titles. We're just going to fight people and shit. Their heart's not in it. Nobody's heart is in this shit who comes over from WWE, or Moxley wouldn't do interviews going, I would have walked out and gone to the other company. I'm doing you a favor. You think Rusev's heart wasn't in it? Bro, let me tell you, my heart is in every single thing I book, bro. Dude, they're there for the money. MJF wouldn't just leave AEW high and dry. Right now he's banged up, but he just leaves whenever he has a movie. And you could be like, well, WWE guys do that too. But like, how many of them? The problem is that Edge comes and goes when he wants. So does Kenny. He prioritizes Capcom events over AEW. The Bucks come and go as they please. Everybody just dips out, takes long ass breaks. It's crazy, and that's a good thing for wrestling, but Tone doesn't do anything to fill those voids either, and he doesn't know how to book these fucking guys. There's a bunch of people like Sammy Guevara, whose wife had to ask for her release, and who you guys find weird. Nope, he's staying with AEW, Bryan. Tony said it. Yeah, because Tone won't let him go, and he's just promising him now, I'm going to book you. Is Sammy Guevara's mentality wrong because his mentality now is I need to get the fuck out of here. We're the Lucha Bros, where their heart's not in it. Now, I know Dave hasn't named any of those people, but that's what he's insinuating. And he's warning Bayley. He's going, if your heart's not in it, don't come. No, if your heart's not in it, show up and just get the bag. You think Mick Foley's heart's in it? He's a fucking liar, that guy. So it's just people are there for money. That's what everybody says. Karen Jarrett admits the shit. Everybody admits it. And Paige's heart was in it. But then you just kind of flounder. There's nothing really to do. And she's like, and it made her realize I'm a WWE girl at heart. It made Punk realize I'm a WWE guy. Whoa, I need to get down and start working with these kids in NXT. And what the fuck? This is crazy. I need to fucking get to WWE. And they tried to sabotage that too, as Niccolo Piccolo pointed out in his AMA. He thinks there was an effort. And the whole Tony Khan saying, I feared for my life, to get Punk just blackballed from wrestling entirely. Because if Tone can't have him, no one can. And that's Tone's mentality with a lot of these people, Dave, talking about mentalities. And when people have mentalities like Jade Cargill or like a Stephanie Vaquer, you guys shame them for that shit. But if they want to go out there, not draw and break their fucking necks, that's the right mentality to have. Fucking cooked, old man.
There are people that have that mentality. I mean, Stephanie Vaquer, got a much better money offer from AEW than she got from WWE. But, she grew up watching WWE. Bayley grew up going to WWE shows in San Jose and the Bay Area all the time. Now, she also went through the indie scene, but, so it's Stephanie Vaquer. She went through CMLL. So it's not.
So CMLL's not an indie, especially according to you. It's more popular than WWE, so that wouldn't have been an indie. And I love how even Dave, again, another Freudian slip, he just flat out says indies in relation to
the
AEW.
Only reason I know about this
so
is because
stupid.
I know about it.
So if you're like an indie mindset, then it caters to Tone and you got to go do indie shit. Oh, so you're just admitting it. Because if you're more indie minded, you go to AEW. Huh? Way to just like say what everybody's been saying that you call grifters and fraudcasters and all of this stuff. You douchebag.
Not like all they know, like some of the athletes that come through, like a lot of the athletes that come through when they get cut by AEW, by WWE, they just quit the business. Or, it's not like they grind through and hope that AEW will pick them up. They're just done. They only know WWE. They don't even know, you know what I mean? They don't
even know. He was going to say they don't even know that AEW exists, but then he had to stop himself because more people watch AEW than Raw, Bryan.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Look at him just bumble fucking around, trying to make sense of shit. This is what it is. She's a vet. She's going to want to make money, have a big match with Monet. She could go to Japan, check some of the indie and mark shit she wants to do, because she is a wrestling mark. She could check some of those boxes, go to CMLL. I think it's a great move for Bayley. Boom, done. 10 seconds. I just did this clip. Instead, Dave's got to attribute motives and mentalities, as he calls them, and speculate on her shit, and then bumblefuck around and just admit that nobody knows what the fuck AEW is.
And hope that AEW will pick them up. They're just done.
And that it's indie. Shindy mentality. That's what you have to make it there. That's what he just admitted in the span of 10 seconds.
They only know WWE. They don't even know, you know what I mean? They just think everything else is Bush League besides that.
It is.
I don't think that she would think that, especially with Mercedes, they're doing so well. But that doesn't.
How is Mercedes doing well? What has she drawn? She's doing so well in her bank account. What has Mercedes drawn for AEW? That's significant. Where it's like, whoa, she's getting all these new stars over and getting all these girls over. She did more for the indies than AEW. What are you talking about?
It's like, again, everyone's attitude is different. There have been many, many people that AEW has hired in this type of situation that have flopped, and there have been many that have been big successes. And
name one. Name one. Is Mox a big success? Nope. Nope. Is Jericho a big success? In the beginning, and then he completely is just a shell of himself. It's like a parody of himself, and he's now looping and gone into just rehashing his old gimmicks for a second time. So his gimmick right now is rehashing old gimmicks, which was a gimmick he was doing like 3 years ago or some shit. So I wouldn't say that was a massive success. In the beginning, he was. Now, Cody Rhodes was a big success. He helped start the company. He got the fuck out of there. Punk was a big success because he's Punk and he got the fuck out of there too. Who's been a big success? Who's come over from this situation? Lashley? Moxley? Moxley tanked their ratings single-handedly. The Death Riders and the Blackpool Combat Clan or whatever the fuck have been garbage. Everybody agrees, even Sickos. So that wasn't a success. Who's been a massive success that's come over from WWE? Edge and Christian. Are you sure? They're doing a tag match at Redemption, and there's 6,000 tickets sold. En français. What are we talking about? Monet, she drew one house and Tone papered the shit out of it. More than likely. We heard rumors of it, but I was like, I don't even want to cope over it. And I don't even think that was like a 10K thing. So like maybe Sting, but it's Sting. So like, and how much of a success was that? His last show was good, but Tone was selling tickets for $1 the night of to just pack it. He just wanted to sell it out for Sting. So I can't think of any. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in chat. Who? FTR, maybe. Yeah, FTR. FTR would be that person, I think, that has been successful in AEW comparably to their WWE run. Okay, I'll accept FTR.
In the end, there's
And in the end, it doesn't even matter. Just accept what they give you, Bryan.
The key things, number one, is your attitude. If you're doing it to go back to WWE and make them notice you, it's a bad move for Tony to sign you. And again, how's he going to know? Because everyone, when they talk, is going to say.
And here's the problem, too, is that Dave thinks everybody's a little valley schoolgirl bitch like him. And he thinks that like a Sheamus just wants WWE to notice him again. No, dude, he just wants the bag. He can't admit, because I destroyed Dave on DMDMW way back. I destroyed Dave for him trying to say a money mark isn't someone, a money mark's someone who goes broke. Like he tried to say, well, Tone makes money and has money, so you're not a money mark. And it's like, no, dude. And nowhere is there a rule where the definition of money mark means you then go broke from people marking you in for money. It's just someone who gets marked in for money. It doesn't mean you go broke. You could be a billionaire and laugh all the way to your fucking grave buried in a gold throne. Have enough money to fucking regrow your organs and put them in a fucking robot and live forever, dude. That doesn't mean you're not a money mark if people are just able to swindle you out of fucking money, mark you in for money, dude. So Tone is a money mark and he knows that, but he can never admit that. Well, they just go there for the money. But meanwhile, at the beginning, that was the whole thing with AEW. Well, he can pay them comparatively and he's going to comparably, and he's going to pay all the wrestlers that come in. They're going to get the big mainstream bucks. Right? But he doesn't want to say that, and that's all anybody's doing. So he wants to attribute this motive or mentality. There's many backfired mentalities because he doesn't know how to speak. You think he would. So he's saying like Aleister Black went there just to get noticed by WWE, then go back to WWE. That's the only reason Rusev came there and shit. Nope. No, Tony just fucked up their booking and didn't know how to do business. Because part of the business is Miro going, okay, I've wrestled Chuck Taylor. I've wrestled all these fucking guys. I'm not losing to Daniel Garcia. I'm not selling for that guy or whatever. And that's a problem all of a sudden. And Rusev's like, bitch, I drove a tank out to John Cena at WrestleMania. Like, call me when you have something. Oh, you want to book a program, me and Hobbs or me and Wardlow, and we fucking winner gets a shot at the heavyweight title and you build us up or something? Like, yeah, that would, I'm sure he'd have been down. He'd lose to Wardlow all day. He's literally, we looked up the matches he had in AEW too. He was wrestling like Chuck Taylor and shit. mostly. Guys like the Serpentico and shit like that. It's like, bro, you got to blame Tone. At some point, you got to go, Tone's a money mark. And fuck, it doesn't matter what the wrestler's motive is at this point. Tone needs to take what he can get to boost some fucking ratings and get people interested.
Oh, I'm gung-ho for you. I mean, even the people who mentally, obviously,
they need to be gung-ho for you, Tone. They need to worship Tone. They need to say, I'm going to go out there and break my neck for you, Tone. The fucking Anna Jay's getting another CAT scan or whatever the fuck they're saying after she just came back. Tone revealed that Anna Jay's injured again. She just came back. And why? Because what was Sky Blue and them doing and Lena Cross and them doing on this last Collision? Another tag team women's hardcore match, because Dave and Tone have a fucking fetish of watching these girls go through barbed wire and cut themselves up. And a beautiful, gorgeous girl like Sky Blue who does professional modeling, he wants her to look like fucking Mickey Knuckles, dude. He wants her head to look like Dusty Rhodes's. And they're in hardcore matches. Sky Blue is in another hardcore match. Anna Jay's already injured again. The fuck are we doing? So he's sitting there the way Braun Breaker on Unreal took a scary bump in the War Games, and then he goes back there and he kind of whispers to Triple H. He's like, I would break my fucking neck for you, boss. I'll be in a wheelchair the rest of my life for you, boss. And Triple H goes, well, don't do that. Triple H was like, well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that, but like, no, that's not how you play the game. Right? He's like, don't do that, but like, thank you for saying that. For Dave, it's like bow down, worship, and get a neck fusion for Tone. And if you're not coming for that, don't bother coming. Okay, Bayley? You think Bayley's stupid? She knows Tone phones you, dude. She knows that you know what he's saying, and she knows that you were told to say this publicly on behalf of Tone to let wrestlers know this, that they have to bow down and bootlick and kiss the ring. People say taking a pay cut after you're someone who's in the business, who's made millions of dollars, been on 6 figures to 7 figures for the last almost 20 years, and they're going to go at guys like a Sami Zayn or a Sheamus or a fucking Miz who may or may not have been asked to take pay cuts and accepted them. Hey, Miz, we're paying you 7 figures still. Can we just give you 6 figures now for the last 5 years of your career as a fucking wrestler? And he's like, sure. And that's a problem? He's made 7 figures the last fucking 10 years plus of his career. Sheamus, I feel bad for Sheamus. Why? Because he just stopped making millions of dollars this year to go make millions of dollars from Tone? The fuck are we talking about? So Dave's thing is like, no, don't come in and say, I'm going to get people over. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to have the mentality of let's uplift everything and bring some of that veteran poise from WWE. In WWE, all the ships are sailing in the same direction to Troy. Odysseus, right? No. They're all on the same boat and they're all headed in the right direction. So instead of bringing some of that mentality, it's about go gung-ho for Tone, meaning if he books you in a clusterfuck death match on a Collision, just do it. Just do it. Get hurt for him, get neck fusion, break your bones, jump off the cage like Cope did, and just be gung-ho for Tone. It's a cult. It's sicko. It's mentally ill. And if I'm Bayley, I'm fucking begging for my WWE job back after hearing this shit.
We very clearly never wanted to be there. They all said that. There's a lot of other speculation of what you would want to do.
They all said that. No, Paige said that. Punk never said that. He tried, dude. I tried. He tried, dude. Rhodes started the company, so he did want to be there too. But they all just admitted, like, okay, once you realize Tone's not in the business for the business, that I need to get back to WWE. And you're butthurt by that.
After wrestling. And that's a consideration, too, when it comes to this. You could also go in there and go, at this age, if I don't make a move now, I'll never make the move. So it's kind of like, do I stay now? Like, your mentality at 37 is different than it's going to be at 30. So it'll be
money. Get as much money before the window closes.
It will be interesting.
Why can't you explain that? It will be interesting. Okay. Will it? Sorry, I didn't see the super chat. CWJ for 5 says, here is a thought. Be a boss. Have a plan. And if people do not want or do not want what the boss wants, then fire them. If TK did that, this would not be an issue. Exactly. Or if Sammy Guevara is like, they're not booking me, my wife's leaving, just release me. And then Tone's like, nope, we're keeping him. So now he's splitting up. Like if Ty Mello gets picked up by NXT again, then what? You're splitting up the fam, Tone? And then they want to pretend it's weird that Sammy Guevara, that people thought Sammy's leaving when he's publicly. So let's get into this next bit here. This is some AEW talk now. And Dave and Bryan, who's the one who leaked the fucking story, and Tone said this. Tone said this in a fucking media scrum today for Redemption. Well, it's weird that people think that Sammy's going anywhere. It's weird. I find it weird that people... How? He's publicly done interviews like, well, they don't book me much. I don't know. I'd like to come back. You know, the last time they used me, I was just in town, so they used me. And then he removes AEW and shit from his bio after his wife asked for her release. And then Tone came out and was like, she actually asked for it a couple weeks back. And not in 2025, like some people say. And I'm actually granting her release. So is that how? So why didn't you do it a couple weeks back? Because you were doing Ghost Tone, where you didn't want to deal with the issue. And Tone's so fucking passive aggressive and shitty as a boss. He gets it out through dirt sheets and through the Redemption media scrum. Like, is that how Ty Mello found out that she fucking was fired?
In, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
And I don't know why I hit that sound, but like, okay, so let's say she asked for her release a couple weeks ago, Tone. So that makes sense why Guevara's like, well, they're not booking me. Let me remove AEW from my bio and shit. Tone's like, no, I got to keep him. Why? Because he'll get clowned because of the 4 pillars, as we've roasted on this show and on PWT Live show. So like pillars, you mean like the foundations, the things that don't move, that hold everything else up? And Guevara's just nothing on Ring of Honor, and you don't care, and you're about to lose him, and he doesn't even know if he's there. Great pillar. Very reflecting of what's going on in the company. The foundation's crumbling, dude. The foundation's literally crumbling by y'all's definition. The pillars, right? You made t-shirts about it and everything. But you guys aren't worried about AEW right now, and you think people are stupid who might be going, yo, there's a lot of fucking writings on the wall. Right? And Sammy's definitely staying. They couldn't wait to let everybody know, but fuck you, Tone, for gaslighting people and treating your audience like idiots by saying shit like, I think it's weird. Why would you guys think he's unhappy and wants to leave? Well, you just said his wife's leaving. And Ty Mello, you ever want to come on this show and chat? Is this how y'all found out that you're fired now? So you asked for your release a couple weeks ago. Tone doesn't deal with it. I'll give you a week window or whatever, right? Like there's paperwork and shit. Maybe you're deliberating. You're thinking, is there any ideas? I'll give you a week. But then like a week, another week goes by, another week goes by. You haven't made the decision of whether you want to keep her. You're just ghosting it. So then you announce that this Redemption thing, you will be granting her release. Is that how she found out she was fired? That's fucked up. This company's fucked up. So, again, everybody's saying, move along, nothing to say here, as Officer Barbrady would say. And Dave and Bryan got the scoop on Guevara.
This weekend, Sammy posted on his Twitter, new bio. And then somebody saw him say new bio, and they looked at his bio, and there was no AEW in the bio. And I guess they said he'd removed it from his
Somebody looked. Yeah, everybody who saw the post, and that's why he posted it, because he wanted everybody to see that AEW wasn't in there. Tone's like, that's weird that you guys would think he doesn't want association with me anymore. His wife's fired, by the way.
And so then everybody thought that he had quit, or he got his release, or his contract was up, or something. He wasn't answering any questions. And then more people got talking. And as it turns out, his contract is not expired. He has not been released. Nothing has changed. And I was told that AEW had never been in his bio. So when he said new bio and people looked at his bio and saw that it had been removed, it actually never been there in the first place.
Somebody can fact check that. If that's true, then okay. That's fine. But guys, he is publicly done on a podcast interview, which they're leaving out all this context because it makes Tone look fucking stupid. He's saying in an interview, yeah, I don't know when I'm getting booked next. I don't know. They don't book me. I'd like to be booked. Last time I was just in town and they kind of used me. That's the vibes. And that's essentially what he was saying. Now, all of a sudden, his wife asked for her release. Why? She doesn't want to just sit at home and make money? So obviously they're disgruntled. She's like, why isn't my husband getting booked? You called him a pillar. Anna's gone and you only brought me in to be with Anna. So clearly Anna's fucked when she comes back because they're not going to fucking use and push her. Tone was never going to fucking use and push them because he's terrible. And so now Ty's getting fired just on the fucking air or released. Yeah, I'll give her the release. And that's more like a firing. And I'll tell you why, because she asked for a release. Tone just put it off. And then all of a sudden, when the public gets word of it, and then he gets asked a question, he goes, and I will grant her the release now. So it's literally like when somebody goes, you're fired. I'm not fired. I quit. That's what Tone just did. She's like, I quit. And he's like, you didn't quit. I just fired you. It's cringe, bro. And now they want to act like, it's weird that anybody would. Fuck you, Bri.
So with it, that tells me he was doing all a publicity stunt.
I don't think he did anything. I think what happened was he changed his bio. Everybody decided he was leaving. He decided I'll go with it.
Well,
and then
here's
no, you guys. Here's learn, baby, learn. Meltzer Inferno. Okay.
Learn, baby, learn. Meltzer Inferno.
Hey guys, you watch PWT and then you get more context.
The only reason I know about this is because I know about it.
Like we covered it on my show. He's publicly stated that he seems disgruntled.
The thing though, it would be very easy, especially for a guy as active on social media as he is, and people know him and everything, for to just say, hey, there's nothing to it. And he did not.
I know, but I think that I think he didn't. What I'm saying is, I don't think he did it on purpose.
But he's going with it.
I think he's going with it. He went with it once everyone started talking about how he had removed it and what's going on with Sammy. Is he leaving? Is he? So I think I think
should he stay or should he go now?
Went with it there.
So you think at this point it's just a publicity stunt, and he's just being quiet, thinking that because of that, the more he's quiet, the more people will talk, which is actually true.
I presume so. I just know for sure his contract has not expired. He has not been released, and apparently nothing has changed.
Yeah, nobody said that he was released or his contract came up, you dumb assholes. They just moved the goalposts of what the conversation. People are like, he's disgruntled, and his wife's now fired. So, yeah, he's for surely wants to stay there. Tone just needs to hang on to Guevara. So remember, Ty Mello was in NXT. She was a part of like Undisputed Era, sort of, in a way, right? And Guevara's never been to WWE. Tone can't let him go because they know that he will be a star in NXT. He'll be feuding Santana, and he'll be in AAA and shit, and they'll blow his ass up. Tone knows that. And instead of just making stars, he holds people hostage and still freezes them out instead of just like using them and making them a star or getting rid of them. Like all the shit he's been saying about Britt Baker. Yeah, I mean, Britt Baker's still on the roster and I still look to use her. And then he starts talking about other wrestlers because he has no plans for her. Nothing. We saw her on a red carpet. She's abbed up. She looks in great shape. He has no plans for her. Nothing. Nothing at all, dude. But he can't let her go to WWE because if he does, they're going to turn her into a fucking megastar. Probably not at this point anymore, but back in when she was really over, So
I can tell you that
when he first shelved her, if she went to WWE, they'd have gotten her way over. She'd be on the main roster right now. right?
I have asked many people who need to know, and none of them got back to me, including Sammy. But it's not just Sammy. So I find that kind of interesting.
Well, I did hear from people that also should probably know, and they
He wants out of his deal, you dumb fuck. Just admit it. And Dave's like, I actually asked Sammy too, and he didn't get back to me. Based fucking Sammy not answering Meltzer, dude.
that nothing has changed.
WWE sign him and then make him the leader of like Pero del Mal or whatever. No, that would bomb, but he would be over as like a baby face in AAA big time. He'd work in NXT. Sign him up. He can wrestle. He's just one of those guys that needs NXT, needs to develop that character. Why should people give a fuck? Don't be so cringe on the mic and shit. That's all it is. Jericho tried with him. He obviously can wrestle his ass off. He has a ton of potential still. And yeah, he's just another guy like an Anna Jay, a Sky Blue. They need Queen Aminata. They're great. They're solid. They just need NXT now. You know, they just need NXT to take it to the next level. I'm sorry. Otherwise, they're just going to keep floundering. That's Guevara. Tone doesn't know how to do with him what he should do.
This weekend.
So, this weekend is Redemption, and Dave is going to talk about Redemption a little bit here. And he is very enthused about it, and he's defending it. And Tone is very enthused about it, and enthused about AEW in general. So we're going to play this Tone clip first and then get into the Redemption stuff. They kind of argue in this clip, I believe, a little bit. Dave and Bry do. This one that has to do more with Redemption about how lackluster it is. But, and look, they keep the Yahoo Finance logo in this picture of Tone because they want it to look like he's important and in Yahoo Finance for AEW, when really it's just the money his dad gave him. But anyways, Dave is like, Tone is very enthusiastic about AEW right now. Yeah, it's always been great. He's always said it's been great. Dave has always said that he's the best guy and AEW's great. And Tone has always said that he's the best guy in fucking AEW.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
We already fucking know. He's enthused about it. Are the fans enthused about it? How about fuck you and fuck him? Because it's not all about you two marks, and it's about the fans. Are the fans enthused about it? Tone's real excited, so all the people doom and glooming are wrong. No. This is called coping. This is called putting on a face. This is called cognitive dissonance. He's just like putting a smile on and going, everything's great, and I'm excited to be with Paramount and shit. But quickly, let's get my AEW going really quickly because we're probably going to end up, it's going to be the main place you go to watch AEW will be on my AEW and YouTube. It's just, it's denial, dude.
Anything else from the Tony interview?
Very, very enthusiastic about AEW.
Of course. How is that a note? Anything else, Dave? So this is Dave's wrap-up notes. He's real excited. What the fuck?
Just
no shit.
Talking about, you know, the ratings being the best they've been in a long time, even if you don't include Max.
Which is false. Or no, I guess the ratings are better than they've been in like the last couple years, the last couple weeks. Even if you don't include Max. So see, he throws that in there. He throws that in there. If Max was doing 500K viewers for them, Warner Bros. Would make press releases about it. They would be tap dancing in the streets. They're not. You guys are lying frauds.
That the pay-per-views are the best that they've ever been, which, I mean, there were, in this latest run, there have been obviously some pay-per-views, you know, Punk's first match with Darby, the first Wembley, the All In Texas, the Sting retirement.
All in Texas, man, he's just lying. He's lied about all these buys this whole time, and we're going to see. We're going to see what happens.
Show. Those are like, I think, the big four. So they have not hit that level, although Double or Nothing did come close to that level. But he mentioned like
Which Dave said was like 185,000. So Dave's pretending that those other pay-per-views he named did like over 200,000 buys and shit.
Nothing was the biggest one so far on HBO Max. Consistently, their paper.
Prove that. Where did HBO say that? Where did Warner Bros. Call Dave Meltzer and go, this was the biggest pay-per-view we've done on HBO so far?
Reviews are the strongest that they've ever been. And that was kind of like his main message. He just thinks that it's clicking.
So everything, they're doing great revenue and they're doing great gates and pay-per-view sales. So isn't that a disgusting promotional tactic
This
of
just
the year?
in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
So Tone should be nominated for most disgusting promotional tactic of the year.
It's getting stronger. He was asked about why. He said because he thinks that they're just putting on better matches.
Better matches, but the matches have been the best the whole time, is what you've said. They're all 5-star, 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 5-star constantly. 4 to 5 stars every single match. So now they're putting on better than that? It's the same shit we've seen a million times already.
Every week, every show. And that's been the cause of the growth.
What growth? In social media, they get dwarfed by anything else. They might even be on the decline in many aspects. Television ratings, depending on how you factor Nielsen and all this shit, they're on the decline ratings-wise overall, year over year. If you look at, just because they popped a rating last week doesn't mean shit. We don't know what did the lead-in do? That's the average viewership with the multiplier, Dave. That's not even really how many people are watching it at the end of the show. You asshole. And the attendances, anything we can visibly see, it's down. Everything Dave makes up, it's up and up and up. And so we're actually going to destroy Dave live.
Anything else from the Tony interview?
Very, very.
Like, shouldn't we, dude? We should call this out. So Tony should be nominated for most disgusting promotional tactic this year in the Observer Awards. Correct? Emoji? There you go, dude. Because, like, what are we talking about?
Very enthusiastic about AEW.
That's crazy. So here is Dave. He's enthusiastic for Redemption. Bry's just crying about it. He's kind of melting down about it, actually. Let's take a listen. I think this is the clip. They might argue in this Dynamite clip or both of them. Okay, I can't remember necessarily, but Dave Meltzer questions whether or not Kevin Knight's the right person to take on Kenny Omega in Montreal again. They've moved like 6,000 tickets. So this ain't shit at all.
I mean, I thought they did a great job last week of building the match, considering, it was, how would I say it? It was just kind of like a match that I would not have thought to be a pay-per-view main event. And then watching the show today, it was kind of...
No, they didn't do a good job of getting it over. It's not over with anybody, Dave. It's over for AEW.
My head was, especially, watching, it's like, I know that, they were in a bind because the pay-per-view main event got moved up. And so you got to do something. And you're not going to, when you spent like months, and I mean, this thing has been built up for months, that Montreal Kenny Omega beats MJF. Did you see the thing about?
Why isn't it Andrade? Like, where's Andrade in the question? It's just a lazy throwaway show. Tone was like, I thought I'd experiment with ending it earlier. It's like, oh, gee, if only there wasn't 100 years of wrestling prior that experimented with this stuff to know not to end a show on the East Coast at 1:30 fucking a.m. Tone. Like, you guys are hacks, man.
On TSN?
Yeah, they talked about that being the match because that was going to be
the match.
Yeah.
And on TSN, they dropped a promo where they said Kenny Omega captured his second title. And they talked about Kenny versus MJF. So Tone is running such a Bush League shit show. Like in WWE, if something changes, boom, they got the graphic up. They got a new package built right then. Same with UFC. Fighters have fallen out 2 days before. They got John Anik in the booth fucking cutting the new promo for they got the video packages made up immediately. WWE can do that shit on the fly. In AEW, they're running such Bush League shit, but Tone's got infinite money and access to all this media, blah, blah, blah. And it's on fire right now. But TSN has the wrong promotional shit. And not just wrong in the fact that they're promoting MJF versus Kenny on TSN in Canada. So this is just a big fuck you to Canada. Hey, buddy, that's racist. You are racist. Where's my Canadian racist drop here? You know, like that's racist towards Canada, dude. And I won't stand for it. I don't even know. But listen, it's just a fuck you to Canada. It's a shit card thrown together, zero hype, no real build. We already know that Kevin Knight's not beating Kenny, so why the fuck would you buy a ticket to this shit? They're promoting the wrong match in Canada. MJF won't even be there. And also, they flubbed up their own stats or whatever. So Tony's the statistician who knows everything. He's a wrestling historian. But meanwhile, the production fucked up the vignette, and they said Kenny Omega's was captured his second title, even though it's like his third or whatever. A bunch of people pointed it out online. And then TSN deleted the post about it when they posted it on their socials. Too bad it aired on TV, though. Ass fucks. Fuck.
That was the match. So I really thought that if they were going to do a sub,
Booker of the Year, Promotion of the Year, most predictable, mundane, can't even get the promo right. Everything's white hot and golden and everything's great and nothing can ever be criticized. And Dave just goes, well, yeah, that was the match. How the fuck didn't you fix that?
And it was going to be the main event, and it's a weak main event and everything. It should have been Okada. Number one, Okada beat Kenny Omega last year at All Out on the biggest show of the year. Number two, if you want to do a bunch of...
All Out wasn't the biggest show of the year.
Okada's always in the mix. He's always protected. And you want to do, video package and things like that. You can say, this guy beat Kenny Omega, and he's Kenny Omega's biggest career rival. And, it's an all-time legendary match. So I think that... I would have done that. On the flip side,
see, he's going to defend this. They want to make a star. This isn't how you do it. He's not even in the promotional material in Canada. So this isn't how you do what you're saying, Dave. So you're trying to defend them for trying to make a star. But this isn't how you make a star. So then you got to go, they want to try and do this, but they're not achieving what they think they're doing. They fucked it up.
They want to make a younger guy into a pay-per-view main eventer, and this was a chance.
That's not how you do it. So they want to make a younger guy into a pay-per-view main eventer by throwing him in a pay-per-view main event randomly, and he's already a pay-per-view main eventer because they just made him one. You fucking asshole, dude. Dave is so stupid.
Do it. And
Tone
Tony
is so
obviously
bad.
is very high on Kevin Knight. And, do I think Okada would have done more business? Yeah, I do. Is that necessarily the long-term goal? Doing a little bit more business with Okada? Maybe people not saying, oh, it's such a nothing pay-per-view, blah, 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 blah. Which, as far as if you look at the lineup, I mean...
Dave's new favorite thing is blah, 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 blah.
It's anything but a nothing pay-per-view. It's going to be absolutely...
See, so it's like everyone's saying it's a nothing pay-per-view, but when you look at the lineup, it's anything but that. It's going to be amazing. So Dave's already got it made up in his mind that it's going to be amazing. Nothing can ruin it. He's already telling you what he's going to... It's already great, everyone. It's already good. Look at the lineup. He can just tell from the lineup. Nobody goes out there and breaks a leg and has a terrible match, or some wrestlers, Kevin Knight and Omega, just don't have chemistry. Nothing like that's possible. It's already great, and it's anything but, even though this is what the masses are saying. It's a nothing. Throwaway. Blah, blah, blah. But no, it's not that. Trust me.
When you look at that lineup from start to finish, it's going to be like every other pay-per-view. It's going to be a series of outstanding matches. But,
it's going to be a series of outstanding matches, bro. You don't know
for, the young superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So, I mean, as far as the decision making, they did this last year with Fletcher.
It's bad, but they did it last year with Fletcher, and that didn't work, and nobody's more over, and Fletcher's not. Well, maybe I don't know if he's more over. I actually don't. He's probably the same place. If I go back a year, he's probably about the same he was last year.
It's like sometimes you you sacrifice a buy rate a little bit.
A little bit, because he knows he's going to lie and go, well, it did like 150,000 buys, better than I thought. They sacrificed the buy rate only a little bit because Kenny's still going to, like, it's just all these built-in excuses already.
And because you're building for the long haul.
Dave shows you his hand. This is building for the long haul. Throwing him in a fucking match. Building for the long haul in Dave's mind is throwing Kevin Knight in a match that we know he's going to lose so he can just do a bunch of moves so that they can go, oh, respect to Kenny and shit, and so that Kenny can go main event all in because we know he's not going to lose this match. That's somehow preparing Kevin Knight to make him a star in the long haul. What a fucking moron.
That's the goal, and
he knows nothing. Dave, you don't know shit about booking.
Tell people that, yeah.
And if that's the goal, then it's okay. Okay, then fucking what they're doing in WWE for the long haul is with Logan Paul and fucking Tom Brady or whatever bullshit. Like if I just said that, that's not an excuse for that shit either,
Kevin Knight's going to lose. He's probably going to lose a great match. He'll hopefully with Kenny in the ring.
He's probably going to lose a great match. Like he already has his mind made up.
He will come out better losing than he came in.
And then it's the old, he'll come in better. He'll come out better from the loss than he did.
I thought they did a great job last week.
No, it's not Bret Hart, Steve Austin. Okay, before Bret Hart, Steve Austin did a bunch of shit where he was getting over on his own too. And then Bret Hart helped put it over the edge. That's not what's happening here, dude. Fuck, man. Such shills. So here we go. Bryan, in his goofy ass Hawaiian shirt, is calling out Dave and AEW just in general. And I don't actually know if he's with Dave in this clip in particular. Okay. But Dave continues to just parrot lies. And again, we've discussed this, but just to reiterate, so AEW did pop a number, and then these are the dog whistles that Dave puts out there. So Real Philly P says, Add and Max and AEW is now beating both of WWE's top shows in live viewers. WWE is now the number 2 promotion. So, I mean, we have to hit the drop. I mean, these people don't understand.
Retard alert! Retard alert, class!
And so I had to do a whole segment, which I made a post about on my Twitter and noticed no sickos. There wasn't one reply. Sickos come under every one of my posts and are like, you're fucking gay, man, and things like that. I'm not joking. They come under every single one of my posts. This one, the one about owning them with ratings, they had nothing to say because sickos don't understand ratings. Dave doesn't understand ratings. Nielsen is estimates and multipliers, okay? And it uses an average. That's Nielsen. Netflix, I might have said Netflix first, sorry. Nielsen is averages and multipliers and estimates. Netflix is views, so just straight up views you get on fucking when you click on the thing. Boom. Pretty simple. And that's what the Max numbers would be too. So you think Max is getting 500,000 viewers? That's fucking stupid. And I thought TV ratings don't matter, so WWE still wouldn't be the number 2 promotion. That's not how this works, by the way. Number 2 promotion means, are you on ESPN? Are you selling out fucking 12,000 every Raw and the tickets are cost the most? That's clearly the number 1 shit. But besides all that, you guys don't even understand how the ratings work. And Dave admits here that he doesn't understand how they work. And he goes, I would argue that it would need 426 on Max this week to beat SmackDown. Dog whistle. Not impossible. Dog whistling, signal boosting retards who don't know how ratings work. That's what Dave's doing. He's a fraud grifter. That would, it's not impossible, but you would not expect to see WWE is clearly number 1, but AEW is the strongest number 2 in decades. And so I wrote, it's the definition of grifting, what Dave's doing. He's just swindling dumb people into parroting complete mental illness. And people, even under this post, are like, that's what you're doing. Someone said that to me. And on another post I made, someone's like, yeah, you're grifting or whatever. It's like, dude, at least I am doing my best to explain things that, like, I didn't even think, like, I'm a dumb fuck. I didn't think some of these things even needed to be explained. Like, Netflix runs on views and retention rate. Nielsen is Nielsen, and they flub with the numbers, and okay, we're just going to take them at face value. Even I don't cope over this shit either. And I'm able to like actually understand how it fucking works better than these assholes. And I don't understand how any of this shit works at all. It's just crazy that Dave like has to be called out for this. Like, whoa, I thought everybody understood this already. And this is grifting, bro. He's just tricking fucking dumb people into parroting like dumb shit. He's just signal boosting stupid shit so people repeat it because he's on the internet too much. And I wrote, all this does is make the discussion about WWE and takes away from AEW's accomplishments. So again, what does the discussion become? Nope, WWE's this, and then everybody owns it. So it just makes it just is a discussion about WWE instead of AEW, and it just takes away from their actual accomplishments every single time they do this. They pop 700,000. Oh my God, the greatest ratings of all time. They're the number one promotion, blah, blah, blah. And then they get felted and they wonder why. So here's Bry's take on all of this and talking about the larger issue at hand with Dynamite.
Last week, going in, you knew with no World Cup and with a World Championship match, it was scheduled for a pay-per-view that you were getting free on television. You knew that was going to be one of the best rated Dynamites of the year. And he did nothing on that show to build up the following week. He made no mention of Hangman showing up on Collision. He booked no matches of really any value for the following week's Dynamite. And then, like less than an hour, like 50 minutes before...
Yeah, and like to Bry's point too, because this is base Bry, trying Bryan right here. We need to free Bry. Here's the thing. To his point, it doesn't even matter if they did a good rating, quote unquote. It would have been even better. They could have done like a 900,000 or something if maybe they did some of the stuff Bry's saying here. But it's always sweeping for tone.
The show went on the air. He announced a World Tag Team title match for Dynamite.
And I feel bad for the guys who work with Bry, like besides Dave, because Bry comes on and just yells at them what he wants to say to Dave, but is too much of a cuck to say to Dave.
Not just with Copeland and Cage. A World Tag Team Championship match 50 minutes before the show went on the air. And then during the show, by the way, he made no mention whatsoever of Hangman Page. It's
because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a bad booker. It's bad formatting. And he's not creative. And he just works with who's there in town. Who showed up to TV. We're going to use
like Hangman Page never existed. Bryan. He even did a video package.
Now, Bry's pulling a fucking Dave. Like Filthy Tom Lawler's trying to get in there. And
where's the guy that has papers everywhere in his room?
Bry's pulling a fucking Dave, not letting him talk.
Collision. And in that video package, they ignored that Hangman existed.
Bryan.
Yes?
Bryan. They had that World Tag Team title match, and you know what they did after the show? They shot an angle for another World Tag Team title match.
After the show
with the Death Riders. Why couldn't they do it on that show? Why couldn't Claudio and Pac?
Is that why Dave insisted last night that there were 6 matches for the show, even though only 5 matches had been announced?
Yes, thank you, Bryan. Oh shit, Bryan's calling it out.
I know about this is because I know about it.
Oh my God. Tone texts him the matches and Dave knows, and Bry's doing my job for me. Bry, come on. Open door policy for Bry and Filthy Tom Lawler on hashtag DMDMW. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bry's doing my job for me and pointing out how Dave knows the fucking matches because Tone tells them to him, and Dave lets all of these, he has all these Freudian slips recently. You know what I mean?
Sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe.
In his old age, he's starting to just let it all slip, his shillingness and willingness to sweep and shill for AEW and what the objective is. And he's clearly on board and is on the team, and fucking Bry's helping expose it all.
Something that happened after the show?
Yes, Claudio and Pac challenged Copeland and Christian for the titles after the show, and it was made official for Redemption.
Okay, after the show. Guys,
after the show.
Listen. All of these are significantly larger issues than how many stars Dave gave Mercedes versus Maya World.
And then he's just making it about some other shit. No, Bri, it's all a part of the greater issue here. Okay? Your boss is a fucking grifter shill, and you just sit there and take it.
Or whether Brock Lesnar's shirt was censored on Netflix. What has happened? Where are everyone's priorities? Jiminy Christmas. Hangman came back with 18 hours
Dude,
notice.
Where's your priorities? Say this to Dave. And he's yelling at the IWC. This is more important than Mercedes Moné stars. Who are you that? No, it might not be as important. There's a bunch of sickos who just eat this slop up and then we'll still cry about Dave not giving the stars.
On social media. And then it was completely ignored on the following week's Dynamite. And we're arguing about what Dave thought of a Mercedes Maya World match. I'm aghast.
Yeah, so now, again, instead of criticizing Dave and calling it out and going, dude, I just exposed my boss for grifting. Hopefully I don't get fired for that, for being a shill. What does dumbass Bryan do? Then he flips it on the IWC and goes, you guys should care less about Dave Meltzer doing stuff wrong than blah. You just pointed out shit he did wrong, stupid. God damn it. You give Bri the benefit of the doubt, and it ends up blowing up in your face. He makes it about, oh, you should care more about that than Dave. No, I care about all this stuff equally. Your boss is a shill, and that goes hand in hand. Because why isn't he rating the Monet match when he was in the crowd for it? He rated every other match before it and after it. Couldn't rate that one. Mercedes makes fun of him constantly. Kendall Gray was on that night. Mysteriously, I think they were on at the same time too, and at least the entrances. And mysteriously, Dave fucking doesn't have a rating. And mysteriously, he's saying, "Oh, there's 6 matches," stooging that there's other matches that nobody's heard of yet. There's 6 matches on Redemption, even though one was made after the fucking show that Dave only knows about because, like I tell you guys about Tone,
guys, Tony Khan.
Tone texts Dave the card. He rolls out of bed, texts Dave the card. Dave goes, yeah, I like it, or maybe do whatever. And then fucking Tone jumps on his phone and he does his Instagram live talking about how excited he is
Dave
for all
is
the
so
shit that's
bad.
going to happen.
Dave is the devil. Oh.
Last week.
So we move along here in our last clip. And then just a funny tweet. So here's Bryan melting down about what the fuck is going on in AEW. I think we played some of this clip on PWT Live show, but Bri will kind of skim through it, but he's wondering what the fuck is going on and what happened, what's going on with the IWC and the Sickos and all of this. And they started coming after Bri, and he saw a message on the message board, on the Observer message board, of some guy parroting Dave's lies, saying, bro, we don't care about the business. And if you look at the ratings and you look at this and if you look at that, and it's all shit Dave said, gaslighting his audience, and he's just repeating it. And Bri doesn't address this shit. He's a little cuck. He won't address how it's because of Dave that the Sickos say shit like this, Bri. It's because of your fucking boss. Say something to him. Quit this job. Stand, show you have a fucking backbone and spine. Have some fucking morals.
The show was not good. This was a badly booked show, okay? Yes, there was some good wrestling on it. There was so much nonsense on this show. And it was like, this post I read before the show, this hero worship of Tony, was like so incredible. Guys, this is the equivalent of, this guy is a millionaire that should be a billionaire. That famous line from CM Punk. I realize this guy actually is a billionaire, but my point is this. You guys don't get my criticisms. This place has so much more potential than they've achieved.
And we covered this. If you guys watch PWT Live show, if you only watch DMDMW, then You're missing out. No, but like, as I said, I quote tweeted this and I was like, Bri, the problem is that everybody said this already for 6 years. And this is one of Bri's late to the party epiphanies, late to the dance epiphanies, where he comes to this stark realization after everybody else has already talked about this shit. And then he talks about it as if he's this prolific mind who fucking came up with it first. Shut up. This is what everybody's been saying.
They underperform. Yes, I realize they are the number 2 promotion. I realize that they've come to a point where they're the second biggest promotion there's ever been. I realize that.
And that's not true.
Okay? They are distantly behind WWE. Their television tapings do half a WWE house show. Guys, my point is, this shouldn't...
Half a house show. Bri, a WWE house show does over 10,000 people. Dynamite does 2,000 to 3,000 people, bro.
Happen. There is no reason.
And who's he talking to? Like, imagine you work with this guy and then you are a cuck, whoever's working with him, who has to sit there and listen to him spurg out like this when he should be saying this to Dave.
That they shouldn't be significantly bigger than they are right now. Look at the fucking talent this place has. Look at their roster. They've got national television. They've got Max. They've got everything they need to be so much bigger than they are. And one of the problems is, and actually this main event can tell you everything. Why? Let me ask you a serious question. Why was Willow and Hyan and Maya World versus Divine Dominion and Mercedes with nothing on the line? Why did this main event this show?
Because this is why.
That was my question when they announced it early in the show.
Because Tone knows that nobody's going to watch that shit at the end of Dynamite. And the ratings just tank off. So he wants to put all of his good shit, he wants to try and pile it all up front instead of keep you locked into the main event. Because he sees the quarter hours and he knows, like when we used to see the quarter hours, that the later the show goes, the less and less people watch. So that's why he does that.
I was like, that's your...
Was a championship match. Why wasn't Edge and Christian the main event? It was a championship match. Why were the women in the main event?
Because Tone always puts his main shit first because the most people are watching. And that's how you cater to just the sickos. And he's trying to cater to the casuals, but they don't like what they see. So they look and see, it's not just me, but they look and see that, okay, I got the MJF match, or I got Edge and Christian, now I'm going to shut this shit off.
Because he is gotten to by the criticism that he doesn't do enough with the women. So the point is, he listens to criticism. But you guys that are diehards...
So isn't that a bad thing? Isn't that a bad thing, dude? Dave says that's a bad thing, that WWE listens to online criticism.
Don't criticize. You white knight, you hero worship, you say it's all great, there's nothing wrong with it. Bryan's the problem. Bryan needs an edible. They're going to stay where they are.
Bri, welcome to the party. He's so, like, aloof. He's so, like, oh, I can't believe, I'm flabbergasted that they would even call me out on anything. Bro, I've been saying this for years on this show. So have so many other people that your boss calls old fraudcast grifters. It's because of your boss that these people say this shit. What don't you understand about this, bro? It's literally because of your boss that that's the case. Call him out for that shit. Stop fucking yelling at whoever's sitting across.
Forever, unless people are like, I'm not going to stand for this shit. Like, what's fucking going on? I want to go to a house show, but I don't because I don't know who's on the show. I want to go to a television taping, but I don't because I don't know who's on the show. Why are we shooting an angle on Ring of Honor?
Because in AEW, everybody's at the same level. So like I've said, like the mid cards come out and take the main guys to the limit. So nobody gives a fuck. Like it makes no difference to Tone, and Tone knows that. He just throws it together and you guys eat up the slop. But yet that is the projection of the AEW sickos. They go, oh, fed TikTok brain eating up the slop.
to put together a card.
That's what you guys are doing. It's flip, 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 finish, 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 kick out, kick out, kick out, finish, finish, kick out, reverse, 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 kick out, reverse. And then you have JD Drake taking fucking Osprey and Mox to the limit. And Kevin Knight's going to take Omega to the limit. It hasn't worked yet. They're insane.
For Collision. You had AEW Dynamite on Wednesday on national television. Where the fuck was the Collision card then? Why is it so hard to promote things? Why is it so hard?
Tony Khan's not a good promoter or booker. But Dave gaslights him into thinking he is, and so do the Sickos, and it's a cult. And now you're feeling the effects of going against the cult, and you're having a little cry sesh about it.
To tell us what happened on another show. What the fuck is going on? Like, if you wanted to just stay at this level, a distant number 2, then just keep kissing his ass and talking about how fucking...
Yeah, that's what they want. They don't care. They've literally said, we don't care if it dies. We don't care if fucking about the business side. It could die tomorrow and all these sickos will just scatter like cockroaches in a demolished building and they'll just go find food elsewhere. They'll just start watching JCW and shit. They would not give a fuck, bro.
Great this is. But the guy will listen to criticism if you give honest criticism.
No, Tone won't listen to it. That's what Tone, he set up his defenses and he co-ops the dirt sheets and he hears criticism like, oh, about Timello. And then he goes, oh, let her go then. He succumbs to the pressure, but tries to pretend like everything's all good and great. And he doesn't really listen to the criticism. Nobody, they all put up their shields, man. And the Bucks facilitate that. Your fucking friends, Bri. They're doing victory laps in the ring when Punk's gone in an empty fucking building. Running around with their arms up like we won. That's what Tone wanted. So that's what he got, man. And that's because of you and your friends. That's because of Dave Meltzer, your boss.
About what the fuck is going on? So anyway, I'm irritated. This show was terrible, and I have to listen to people telling me how great it was. It wasn't great. We had a fucking... no mention whatsoever of one of your biggest stars of all time returning on Collision. None whatsoever. We had several matches made for a pay-per-view a week from now. One of them was a guy that walked into another guy's interview segment. One of them was a guy that just got beat clean, but he had fun. He wants to do it again. We got a guy...
Yes, the shits. It's the worst booker of all time and the worst fucking promoted shit of all time.
We got guys out here, the Young Bucks... fucking winning all these matches, but the announcers are telling us they're trying to find a way into the tag, which, by the way, we just saw a tag title match where the explanation was, oh, they're fighting champions. Why aren't they fighting against the Young Bucks? Why aren't the Young Bucks getting a tag team title match at the pay-per-view?
Holy shit, he sounds like me 3 years ago.
It is Pac and Claudio, not the Bucks who just won a match at the last pay-per-view, not Will Ospreay and Moxley who've been winning matches on television. It's Pac and...
Brian's just biting my shit. He's trying to steal my audience. 626 for 2. Sweet, says Phil winning a Pulitzer reporting on Melts. 100%. 100%, dude. I should get these. I should get the Wrestling Observer Award of, I told you so. Said this. Where have I heard all this before? Oh, on fucking PWT.
Just in from Phil Marks of PWT. He says, I told you so.
On Jim Cornette on 83 weeks. Oh, come on now, Brian. That's not very fair. Eric said it first.
Claudio, why? Why? Guys, it's okay to ask these questions. It's okay to say, no, this is not good.
Tell that to your boss.
Like, what the fuck's going on?
When I ask the question, people fucking call me an e-drone.
Not, oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Bryan never built the second biggest promotion in fucking America. We don't listen to that guy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Tone never built the second biggest promotion either. He just bought he just used his money. If Mark Cuban was like, I'm just going to throw billions and waste all my money, he would just do that too. You guys don't get that. The dumb fuck who Bry's talking about, who was on the Observer message board, was like, even the Saudis paid for Live Golf And even Live Golf was a failure, and they're ending it. So that proves how good AEW is doing. And it's like, no, you stupid dipshit, dumbass. It just proves how bad at business Tony fucking Khan is. Because all it proves is that even the Saudis who have infinite money, they are ending Live Golf. Because why? It didn't make money and shit, and it was a failure. So they end that shit. Whereas Tone, this shit's not making money. He's keeping it going. But it's because of Dave. So yell at Dave.
Saving it for London is a horrible fucking excuse. Am I supposed to want to buy this pay-per-view or not?
Nope.
They added a pay-per-view at the end of July.
The people who built AEW was the Elite and Cody Rhodes starting it and their popularity at that time. And then Chris Jericho as well. We cannot forget him. And then a guy like Mox as well. They are responsible. It's not Tone. It's not. He's responsible for funding a downfall.
Am I supposed to want to skip it? Or am I supposed to want to watch it? Because your excuse, Randy, for this booking is they're saving it for London. So why would I watch Redemption? Why would I buy Redemption?
That's what I say every week. Why the fuck would anyone want to watch Dynamite? You know? Oh, it's great matches. It's what Dave tried to explain to you, Bri. That's what Tone believes. Okay?
What is the point of this pay-per-view?
Just, we're going to do great matches, and if you come to our show, you know you'll see great matches. Well, people don't care about that.
I'm not being an asshole. I'm really not being an asshole. I want them. Guys, you know who wants AEW to beat WWE? Me.
Yeah, we know you do. See, he just admits he wants them to beat. Now, I want AEW to compete with WWE. But if it's such shit, Bri, why would you want that mediocre slop to beat WWE? I don't. I wouldn't want that. It's mid shit. I don't want Tone's AEW to beat anything. I want him to beat the allegations of being a shit booker first.
And they ain't nowhere close. And when I try to point out all of these fucking annoying things that hold back growth, I am the one that gets yelled at. That's irritating.
I am the one. You're a fucking sociopath, bro. Your sycophants go at everybody, Bri. You got me blocked for just making fun of AEW and shit. What are you talking about?
I didn't book Hangman on the show 18 hours before and then not mention it on Dynamite. I had fucking nothing to do with that. I just brought it up.
It's like, welcome to the club, dude.
So anyway.
So now you get why everybody fucking hates on this Fed, right? And now imagine, Bri, you have to deal with that for years online as a wrestling fan. And at the beginning, you got to remember too, the Sickos were going after. Everybody leaves this shit out of the Sicko story, Sicko fandom as well, because now they're just all lol cows. People leave out the fact that if you posted about WWE and you like didn't even know what AEW was, all these fucking Sickos came out and were like AEW, E-Drone, blah blah, or let's say you're a new fan and you started watching AEW. And then you're like, who the fuck is this person? And then all the Sickos would be like, Google it. Well, you don't fucking know real grabs. E-Drone, stop watching the slop. They do it to celebrities. They did it to everybody too. So we can't forget that either. You know, and Bri's like, imagine you deal with this forever. Yeah, you're going to fucking just hate AEW and Sickos and not give a fuck about them. So speaking about giving a fuck, somebody I give a fuck about greatly, my favorite. I told y'all, she's my absolute favorite. Tatum Paxley posted this, that she is playing the flute for her Insta subscribers right now. So she was on Instagram playing the flute, and we're all here playing the flute. I told y'all, she's felt it, Dave, dude. She understands what's up, understands the assignment, and we're all playing flutes. And I'll never stop playing flutes until Bri confronts his daddy, Dave. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Dave Meltzer dumb. Moment of the week. Featuring Bryan Alvarez. What an amazing show, ladies and germs. CWJ for 5 says, in 7 years, all TK has proven that nearly every star he ever had was either a former WWE or nude star. Beforehand, stars in wrestling wars. You're absolutely right. Anybody who's quote unquote a star was a star first in New Japan or a star in WWE. Nobody can name your boy Phil one person they've made a star. And yes, you can take MJF, I guess. He's an outlier though, and I'm not trying to cope and do a cop out. Okay, I'm not trying to do that when I say that. Okay, but MJF, I think he just gets over wherever he goes. Point blank. So maybe. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the support. Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week bonus shows are on Patreon, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. It is linked somewhere in the description, and a big announcement for PWT podcast coming soon. Thank you all, and I will see you next time. Peace.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. You're overdue. I just felt it's something that makes you look good, and that's cool, and you know, I'm all for it, but I think you need to tone this down because now it's getting intrusive to the show. But they can go in the afternoon for a U.S.
Hold
show,
on a second.
as they did there, and they
Dave?
can do 180,000 buys for an afternoon show, which they've also done for All In. So
Okay,
we
hold
know
on.
they can do. We know they can do big.
Can I
numbers for an
continue
afternoon.
this before you cut me off? We
Yes,
know
go ahead.
one thing.
Yes.
We know it
No, I'm not-
might have done well because
I'm
it went
not-
on first.
I'm not saying it would.
Here's my thing, Dave.
But here's okay. Wait. Okay, here's the thing. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it didn't mean anything to me. It was just a match.
That's the problem, Dave. It should mean something to you.
Give him a quick squash win just to show that, like, you know, he's not a loser.